Be up in here, man. It's cracking tonight. You heard me? It's cracking tonight. You heard me? We are gonna get it cracking tonight. Salute to everybody. He said I must have got some sleep today. uh, how's everybody doing tonight, man? We about to. Woo. Oh, somebody had Salisbury steaks tonight. I love Salisbury steaks, man. I love Salisbury steaks. I love Salisbury steaks. Salute to everybody out there, man. Sisters, listen, man. If you think sisters are being racist now, wait. You just wait. You just wait. Just wait. Okay? Just wait until they get one of them in the White House, even if it's a fake one. You just wait. Well on. You said it looked like BLM fatigue, but not in Minnesota though. Not in Minnesota. It ain't no BLM fatigue in Minnesota. They rocking and rolling. Full bore, full steam ahead with the BLM stuff, man. You said I just spoke in a Jamaican accent. I had a lot of Jamaican friends at one time in my life, man. You know, respect, respect. Yeah, man. Peer fuckery, man. Peer fuckery. Yes, now I boom ting. Yeah, I had Trinidadian friends. A lot of Jamaican guys, man. When you selling weed and stuff like that, come in contact with a lot of guys like that. Yes, now I And when you around Jamaican dudes, it is hard to not start speaking like them though. Like you gonna start doing it, man. You hang around them for a few days, you gonna start speaking like that. It just rubs off on you, man. Their dialect is so strong, man. And first you're not gonna understand what they saying either. But then you're gonna understand what they saying. And they're very aggressive people, man. Jamaicans are very aggressive, man. Yeah, man. If Madonna better not speak patois, because if Madonna starts speaking patois, black people will start whining that she culturally appropriating, even though she's sleeping with a damn Jamaican. Even though she catching shots to the face from a Jamaican, they still gonna be like, "You culturally appropriating, man." Madonna better be careful with that, man. Blood clot, lot of mercy, pussy hole, pussy. Um, pussy hole. Yeah, man. This the resources found in here are intended for black and indigenous folks. Please refrain from taking anything if you're not. The resources found here are intended for black and indigenous. This is in Minneapolis, man. And look, she's smiling. Like, hey, what you smiling for, you damn racist? Who is indigenous, man? Indigenous people had y'all as slaves longer than white people did, you goddamn moron. She's so damn stupid. She don't even know them damn Native Americans ain't released their slaves to the 1920s, man. Because they wasn't part of the Union or the Confederacy. They had their own nations. The Sioux Nation, the Choctaw Nation, the Creole, the the whatever the fuck nation. Cherokee Nation. All of them had their own nations. They weren't bound by the Emancipation Proclamation. They didn't release their slaves till the 1920s. You goddamn moron. This is the resources found in here are intended for black and indigenous folk. Please refrain from taking anything if you're not. Stupid. And listen, man. This guy says this guy black insurrectionist, man. He say Minneapolis food pantry bans white people. For the life of me, I cannot understand white people voting for Harris Walz. They advocate against white people every second they get. They stoke the fires of racism and then encourage violence when the fire burns red hot. Why do white people vote for this? Well, sir, with the IQ thing, man, we gonna have to revisit that IQ thing, man. We gonna have to revisit the bell curve, man. We gonna have to revisit the bell curve, man. Everyone smash that like button too, man. Smash that like button. Salute to Mandy J. Yeah, all is well, man. Thank you for that, and Mandy J. Hope all is well with you too, man. Mandy J in the building. Yo, man. This racist. Listen, tonight, man, it's gonna blow your mind, man. Tonight is gonna blow your mind, man. It's unbelievable, man. Let's just put it like that, man. We'll start. We'll start. We'll take it back, man. We'll take it back a little bit, man. Minneapolis, man. We doing Minnesota tonight. Tim Walz, man. Tim Walz. Tim Walz and Camel Toe Harris. Tim Walz and Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Let's see what Tim Walz state cracking on, man.
News.
Well, a meeting addressing crime and the future of several businesses in North Minneapolis is just beginning tonight.
It comes after years and years of rising crime in the area of Broadway and Lyndale Avenues. Our Karen Scullen has been closely following these developments and joins us live tonight with the very latest from there. Karen?
Yeah, the meeting was just getting underway, and it seems to be so far pretty well attended. People filing in for the last several minutes now. This is a meeting hosted by the AG's office, the city, MPD, basically to address what's been going on here in terms of crime in the Broadway and Lyndale area. Now, this is happening on the heels of Merwin's Liquor hiring the group We Push for Peace at the end of last week to kind of work with them in terms of security. And just a couple of days in, it does seem to be having an impact. Last week, when we were at Merwin's, the loitering.
This is Minnesota, man. This is Tim Walz' Minnesota, man. God, dog. Think about if you gotta pay your damn phone bill, man. You see these niggas, man. I'm going to the next cricket store, man. Don't they got another cricket store around here, man? Jeez. I used to have cricket. I had cricket for about 6-7 years, man. I had cricket for a long time. Saved about $10 a month for terrible. Listen, cricket gets the job done, don't get me wrong, but you're saving at the end of the day $10 to $20 a month on your bill. Depending on, let's just put it like this. Let's say if you got a good Verizon bill, you might be saving $50 on your bill. But it ain't worth it, man, in the long run. I mean, you're just being cheap because you don't get the unlimited data and all that crap. But yeah, listen, it worked for me. I had cricket for a while, man. In the mid 2000 teens. What happened to Minnesota, man? When I thought, press one, when you thought of Minnesota, man. When you thought of Minnesota, come on, man. Tell me you wasn't thinking of this, man. I know you wasn't thinking of this when you think of Minnesota, man. I was thinking of like snow and white people and shit like that. Ain't nothing but a bunch of goddamn sun turds up there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Week when we were at Merwin's, the loitering, cars in and out, and the obscenities were very apparent.
The obscenities. Niggas cussing and shit all loud. Niggas cussing and shit. Man, fuck that bitch. That bitch pussy, man. Shit, pussy was stinging like a motherfucker. I pulled my dick out, man. Shit, man. I like roll me a J, man. I'm trying to get high, motherfucker, out this motherfucker. Man, bitch ass nigga, you ain't got no money. Shit, I be having all the money in the motherfucking world, nigga. You ain't got no money, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. You broke ass, bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga, fuck you calling a bitch ass nigga. Your mama a bitch ass nigga. Oh, fuck nigga. What's up then, nigga? What's cracking, nigga? You know that shit in Minnesota and shit, man. Oh, man. Tim Walz have brought this shit to Minnesota. Oh, shit, man.
Last week, when we were at Merwin's, the loitering, cars in and out, and the obscenities were very apparent. This week, though, Merwin's Liquor has a different look.
We let them know that, there's no congregating going on in front of this store to no magnitude.
The group We Push for Peace is now partnered with Merwin's owners to push for a positive change, but there's still work to be done. Today, there were still a few people circling or hanging out, but a marked improvement for sure.
At the end of the day, we not the law. Like, we can't make them do nothing. Yeah. But because of those relationships, and they know we respect them and they know we actually care, they have respected us enough to just move.
Pollard noting consistency is the key to keeping things calm. But he says with that work, his group also offers a path to a better life.
Dumping out the blunt guts on the ground. This nigga just terrible, man. Dump out the blunt guts on the ground. Why not just dump them in the bag?
With that work, his group also offers a path to a better life. He says over the last few days, 3 of the men hanging out have taken him up on his offer to help make life changes.
We can go over there and do something impactful, but then we wouldn't go back over there for 3 weeks. So it was nothing consistent going across the board. So now we're there every single day.
But it's not just Merwin's with a notable change. Across the street, Winter Gas appears to have hired security, also limiting the amount of loitering there. But
that nigga's so big, he can't even fucking snap his goddamn bulletproof vest clothes, man. God damn, man.
Out of loitering there. But Pollard notes that all 4 corners of Broadway and Lyndale really have to be involved in the change, as it appears that some of those that were hanging at Merwin's were today across the street at the strip mall.
Hey, man, you done fucked up the subway, man. And that subway is probably a franchise. Somebody done bought them a subway to try to make some money. They own the subway and shit. And you done push these niggas over here, man. Now they over there talking all that nigga babble and shit all loud and shit. And spitting loogies and flicking cigarette butts everywhere. Fuck, man. This Minnesota, man. Tim's Minnesota, man.
Now, I did mention in that story there that Winter Gas had hired some security.
A lot of niggas,
man. Just a little while ago, the security seemed to be gone at this point, and there was a little bit more loitering once again going on in the Winners lot. It's unclear if the owners of Winners and Merwin's will be here. But, you know, as you just heard, Trey Pollard, the lead of We Push for Peace, said it really is going to take this whole area here, all 4 corners, to be involved in some sort of plan to push out the crime and to get back to a livable situation for those who are living here, working here, and taking the bus out of here. And again, that's what this meeting really is about. It's about the future of this area here and how to make it safe for everyone. We're live in Minneapolis.
Live in Minneapolis.
At least 150 people have been shot in Minneapolis and St. Paul this year. That's more than 1 person a day. Last year, that number climbed to 793 in just the Twin Cities. Each person hit by that gunfire faces some sort of recovery, and they're not alone.
This is last year, but I'm showing it because it's relevant to tonight, man. Everyone smash that like button, man. Smash that like button. If you wouldn't leave your kids alone with Tim Walz, smash the like button.
Their loved ones also endure the trauma. So what is the cost of gunfire to a community? It costs roughly $22,000 to treat a patient with a gunshot wound at Hennepin Healthcare. In 2021, they treated 142 people. Last year, it was 120. But those are just numbers. As Jennifer Mayerly shares, behind every bullet is a real person who knows firsthand the true cost of gunfire.
Xavier Brown says he went down the only road he knew to follow. Today, he's living with his choices.
Only being 22 and been shot 11 times. It's more.
God, dog. God, dog. This Minnesota, y'all. I thought people in Minnesota talk like, went down to the country store today and got some eggs. I thought they talked like that, man. Where the fuck is these niggas come from?
Went down the only road he knew to follow. Today, he's living with his choices.
Only being 22 and been shot 11 times. It's more of a lot of gut decisions that got me here.
Xavier is in a wheelchair, a T7 paraplegic, after taking that 11th bullet at the end of 2020.
He only shot once. Close range, dropped the clip, picked it up, and ran off.
He thinks he was targeted.
What age did you join a gang?
I was at 6, 7 when I joined.
He says he wanted to be independent, and without a father figure, he turned to the streets.
What was that life like?
Stressful. every day having to look over your shoulder or having to worry about going to jail and not have enough money to bail out.
The first time he was shot, he was only 13 or 14.
I say right before I had my daughter in 2014.
What happened, or where were you shot?
I was shot in the leg with a 12-gauge shotgun. That was the very first one that I got shot with. Back then, was looking for money to try to come up and was car shopping and ripping and running the streets, stealing cars, like just doing dumb stuff. And karma caught up to me very quick that day.
He says he was shot several more times over the course of about 2 years.
I was like target practice. Like 2 years straight, I was back and forth in the hospital from getting shot left and right. The recovery was just like, I couldn't even get the opportunity to recover. Kept on getting shot.
What toll must that have taken on not just your body, but your mind and your well-being and everything else?
The toll, I'm surprised I could sit here and smile right now. Like, at moments I do be wanting to like just give up, but I know that there's something out there for me.
That's something for...
This is Tim Walz's Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is what Tim Walz has brought to Minnesota. Nigga shit.
Xavion is his family, who haven't left his side. His then girlfriend, now fiance, and his mom, Maine.
If you love him,
got him a little light bright. Go ahead, stonewash them jeans, son, man.
care about that person, you're gonna feel something, and that's gonna change something in your head and in your heart. Last picture of him actually standing with his legs. Me and him took together. He feels so bad, but I mean, your life choices came up on your mama, your sister, and your grandma, the ones that was there for you all the time immediate. Now we got to pay for you being shot, and that hurt you. I know it do. This is a good one that I like too.
But Xavion isn't the only one hurting. The reality is, it's painful for everyone.
The person that got shot be like, well, I'm the one that got shot. Y'all ain't got to deal with this. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We had to deal with his mood swings. We had to deal with him sometimes just snapping out the blue, like, and we just had to accept it because he dealing with something.
Add a bit more energy.
Maine tries to focus on how she can help her son. At times when she lets her mind think about what's happened, it can get pretty dark.
And it's like somebody dying and never heals. So I'm not gonna ever say it's okay or I'm fine or it don't hurt no more. He may not be dead, but it's a totally different life than what he had. And it hurts, and it's different.
I think about people whose bodies and their minds are never the same.
Pastor Edrin Williams' Sanctuary Covenant Church is across the street from the Winter gas station where Xavion was shot. The community calls the spot at Broadway and Lyndale in North Minneapolis Murder Station.
I see regularly young men up and down the street here, many of them with the colostomy bag or young guys who should be out running around playing sports, like pushing one of their friends in a wheelchair, and you just wonder about how their quality of life is impacted forever. That kind of cost.
I feel a real burden these days, Sanctuary.
Williams incorporates the reality of living in the city into his Sunday sermons.
In a world where raising our kids seems harder by the week, I thank God for his spirit.
While trying to cast a...
Salute to D from Boston. He says, peace, Ock, no snoring tonight. Shout out to D from Boston. Gouch Merlot says, the super chat is per Joe Curry. Shout out to you, Joe Curry, man. Shout out to Joe Curry. Shout out to Gouch Merlot, too.
It's a light on the hopeful future.
So that we might be built up to live the lives that God has called us to.
And says the church shows up for families in the wake of gun violence.
Checking in on moms who've lost sons. We're providing diapers to adults who can't go to the bathroom on their own anymore. We're financially supporting families who can't make ends meet because someone who's a breadwinner is their life has been impacted. That's a regular thing for us.
He sees the pain, witnesses the struggle, and wonders, with all the gun violence, if people take time to really heal.
If we don't heal, we'll continue to hurt one another.
People are carrying them with them.
Hermita McGlory counsels individuals and families impacted by gunfire about a mile away from the church at North Point.
It costs the lives of people, but the livelihoods of people.
Those triggered by the sound of gunfire, someone who's lost a loved one to gun violence. She also works with people who have been shot.
We talk about living life again and making moves and trying to restore, reframe, and redirect your life. It's deep work. We have to probe. We have to begin to understand how we are patient with the stories and the narratives of these people.
She works with people to get uncomfortable, to dig deep and try to heal.
What were some of their childhood trauma experiences? Why would we have to do problem solving with guns? Then we begin to have people understand that although they have been a victim of this level of violence, they don't necessarily have to continue to let this direct the rest of their lives.
Do you worry about the people that don't get help after experiencing gun violence?
Most
and what
definitely,
could happen?
most definitely, because it is the level of overwhelming emotional experience that is tragic, it's traumatic. It's not only anxiety provoking and provokes depression, but it can alter just the rest of the life of a person.
Xavier lives in constant pain. He deals with leg spasms, fights depression, and is reminded daily of the last bullet that pierced his arm.
Frustrated. This pain is like something that's so unbelievable. Like, it keeps you up at night. Even if you've been up for a week, this pain will keep you awake. It won't let you get a wink. It just reminds me more and more, and I try to forget it, but that's one thing that my body's not gonna let me do, is forget that. Sometimes I just leave him because I get tired of playing with him.
He knows he could benefit from therapy, but says it's not his focus right now.
What for you is a good day?
That first breath in the morning, to know I accomplished at least a couple of my goals, making sure that I eat at least twice a day, that's a good day for me.
In Minneapolis, Jennifer Merrily, WCCO News.
Xavier does want what's happened in his life to help others. He hopes other young people will see joining a gang is not worth it. There are places to turn to as well. We've compiled a list of some resources for survivors and families. You can look for this story on WCCO.com.
Salute to Deluxe 247, a.k.a. Cal Ripken, a.k.a. the real MVP, coming through once again. Salute to my man Ray Wall. He says, a lot of women have it so good that they've been blinded by the sun. I thought Gladys knew that being around the sun is bad for their health. I think, listen, Gladys know that being around the sun is bad for their health, but a lot of them have been indoctrinated, man, to feel like if you're not living under the sun, you're racist, or just all these. They have too many thoughts in their head. Gliders they think too much when they're around sons. There's a lot going on. Shout out to my man Steve Kim in the building. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you, bro, man. Coming through once again. A lot of women have it so good that they've been blinded by the sun. I thought gliders knew that being around the sun is bad for their health. I guess they need to get burnt before they understand. Keep educating the non-sons and putting out great content. Yeah, man, listen. Sun is hot, Jack. And listen, we gonna get it cracking. I'm gonna drop the link in a little bit, but I gotta do this one. But I gotta start this one off by myself, though, man. This one I gotta start this one off by myself, man. I gotta start this one.
In March of 2023, it was supposed to be a beautiful Easter morning in 2021. What happened next would never be forgotten for this family.
We weren't getting a pulse on these people.
We've been tracking this case for the last 2.5 years, after dozens of open records requests and the hiring of an attorney.
This is Minnesota already. I don't know if it's Minneapolis, but it's Minnesota. This is Minnesota already.
We finally obtained the records related to this tragic incident and go in depth on the story behind it. 911 calls detail the seriousness behind what took place.
April 4, 2021, 10:32:35.
Please confirm with the address of your emergency.
Yes, there's been a severe car accident on Highway 42.
What's the cross
County
street?
Road 42. What's the cross street? Bubble Barn. County Road 5.
Okay, how many vehicles?
Happened. Two vehicles.
Is anyone injured?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what kind of injuries?
We don't know. We're driving past it.
But that's completely total. It looks like it's going to start on fire.
Okay, are you there anymore?
No,
we've driven by.
Okay, stop. They've been on the way this entire time. This is just getting more information for them for when they arrive, okay? Like I said, we have a lot of help on the way. Thank you for calling.
Yep, thank you.
10:32:39.
911, is this a life or death emergency?
Yes, it is. There's a car crash on 42, like right by the gas station.
42, hold on. 42 and what?
But I don't know. Whatever's by the bubble bar.
What happened?
The red car was turning like by the.
Tell me what happened. Accident or I can't understand.
A car crash.
You.
Yes, a car crash.
Is anyone injured?
Yes.
Okay, is it blocking traffic? I need someone to talk to me.
The car's on fire. There's one car on fire.
A car's on fire from it? Which car's on fire?
The white car. The Chrysler car's on fire.
Okay, do you see flames or just smoke?
Yes, there's flames and smoke.
Okay, is anyone in the vehicle that's on fire?
No, not in the vehicle, but the car and the SUV, there's somebody that is not conscious.
Just stay on the line with me. I have lots of help on the way. Are you involved or are you just passerby?
No, I'm a passerby, but my friend's brother and sister were in the car that just got hit.
Court testimony held at a later date details the moments before officers arrived. After witnessing a horrific crash, witnesses say they approached the white vehicle and found one passenger to be severely injured, but alive. Bystanders pulled her out of the car while it was on fire, likely saving her life. She would not have been able to do this on her own due to her injuries, which included a broken ankle, broken backbones, and 2 broken ribs. She also suffered from a deep laceration caused by the seatbelt into her stomach, exposing her intestines underneath her shirt. The driver of that same vehicle was able to get out on his own and sustained minor injuries. As officers arrive, they witness the injured passenger on the ground and recognize that civilians have stepped up to help.
Hello, thanks for attending to her.
Their next priority is to check on the occupants of the red vehicle. The damage is plainly obvious, as the red vehicle was struck with such a force that it was ripped into 2 pieces.
Is everyone out? You think everyone's out here?
Now, just to give you a spoiler, the black girl that you're about to hear talking, she caused the accident, drag racing. And the couple that you're about to hear about, the white couple that died, burned to death in this car, they were some great kids, and they they didn't know these people. They just happened to be on the road, and those people were drag racing, and they killed them. Poof.
Okay. I didn't feel a pulse though. Okay. No exposures. Not too concerned. Is there still a person in here? 2 in here. Got a driver and one in the back seat.
I'm arriving, and it is on
45, 122 for 86. We've got 2 trapped inside of a vehicle that'll need to be pried out. I don't know if they've got either of the 2 have a pulse. No. Okay. I understand your concern. Yeah. I'll just have you wait back here. Thank you. Can I get a pulse on the back seat? These people aren't coming out of this vehicle, right? Nope. Am I seeing that right? Okay. Yep. All right. I appreciate your assistance. Thank you. I'm a former EMT. Oh, you are? All right.
There she goes. Here she is.
All right. And we know that nobody's in this one?
Now that black girl was in another car. She wasn't in the car that hit this. She was in the other car that was racing this car. So her car was racing this car, and they ran into those white people and killed them. That young white couple and killed them. But she was in the other car, so she wasn't hurt really bad.
Everybody out? Okay, we're clear here. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to maintain some kind of a perimeter here.
She's saying, she's talking about the girl in the car that they hit, the dead girl in the car that they hit. She's saying about the dead girl in the car who she doesn't know, who they hit. She's saying, because this is another piece of the car. They cut the car in half. This bitch better be fucking dead or I'm gonna kill her. The dead girl who they didn't know, the dead white girl who they didn't know, who died in the car with her boyfriend, being hit by the other car she was drag racing with. She's out there screaming that this bitch better be fucking dead or I'm gonna kill her. That's her.
Who's in the car?
He was in the car. I'll give it to you later. Please get them to the hospital now. I will give it to you. I will give it to you all right now. Just get them to the hospital now. She was covered here on her neck.
Well, did you see what happened, or you just hear videoing?
I just saw this and I came over.
Okay, so you did see it happen, or you didn't?
No, I didn't see the accident.
Okay, all right. Right behind you. Is there anything I can do to help get this person
Can you check a pulse on that?
We weren't getting a pulse on these people.
Please don't do it. That's the only thing I got. Do not.
Were you in the car? Were you in the car? The passenger or the driver?
She's a passenger.
She's the only one that wasn't hurt. That girl on the ground was her passenger. This is the only one who wasn't hurt, and she's out there doing all that.
Yes, please. See if we can get an ID on these two passengers.
This is her sister. She wasn't in the car. She was in a different car. Her sister was in the car. Sienna.
Officers gathered information and got most of the story put together. The individuals in the red car, Dalton and Taylor, were struck by the white car, driven by Leon Bond III with his twin sister, Sienna, in the front passenger seat. Their older sister, Camille Lachey Dennis Bond, was driving alongside them in a separate and seemingly uninvolved black vehicle with her best friend in the passenger.
Okay. So you got it. This is the girl who was this girl was threatening this girl. So these two cars are drag racing. This car slams into this car, cuts it in half, kills these people instantly. She's hurt. He's hurt. She's not hurt. She gets out and starts threatening this girl who's dead, who they never met. This is the first meeting when they crashed into her, and saying if she's not dead, she's gonna fucking kill her.
passenger seat, Lynn. Lynn was the one to make the 911 call at the beginning of this video. After the crash, Camille stopped down the street in the middle of the road and ran towards the accident.
This is Camille.
On foot. According to court testimony, Camille got out of the car so fast she forgot to put the car in park, but Lynn noticed and did it for her from the passenger seat. Officers quickly realized this may be a criminal investigation involving multiple fatalities and that extreme speeds were likely involved. Accordingly, they quickly identify Camille as a key person of interest. Officers will eventually obtain video evidence of the crash itself to further support Camille's involvement. We will go over that footage later in this video.
Ma'am, can't go over there right now. We got a car on fire. It's not safe.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I know, baby. It's gone. It's gone. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. It's gone. It's gone. I'll make you do something. Sure, 770.
Here, Camille is immediately placing blame on the other driver. She doesn't hesitate to use profanities towards Taylor, who she incorrectly believes was driving the red car.
I think we're going to call 1072. Okay. 45-122. There's going to be two 1072s.
Officers unfortunately discover the two individuals in the red car, Dalton Lee Ford and Taylor Nicole Garza, have been killed in the crash. The couple was 22 years old. They had plans to celebrate Easter with their families that morning.
3 people are out here taking pictures of a dead person. Really disrespectful. And I asked all of them, did you see what happened? Or are you just here to video? Yeah, I was doing their commentary and shit.
Yeah, witnesses over here. Okay. So we'll need to start talking to them. Okay.
Officers begin questioning witnesses to hopefully figure out exactly what happened. Officers begin questioning witnesses to hopefully figure out exactly what happened.
Myself, that's what I got. I see it.
So whenever we get another, you don't put back.
Don't you have like white face up? You got flash. Yeah, we don't go to we're all going. We're going back to my house so we can get dressed and go. It's okay, baby.
I can't even go over here right now.
Wait, right here. I can't see.
Have them meet you down at Caribou.
Yeah. I had to get him out. I didn't even park my car. It was falling down the hill. I had to get him out. How did it be dead?
Hey, Matt, can I get the phone you had? Your friend would like it back. Yeah,
That girl is that black girl. She's threatening the girl. What I was saying, I muted myself so y'all can hear clearly. She was threatening the other girl, the white girl. She's threatening that white girl who's dead, who she never met before, whose death she caused by drag racing. And now she's doing she's the only one acting like this on the scene. And she's the one responsible for the accident.
Instead of 15. Instead of 15. You too. Instead of 15. He was hitting you too, but he didn't.
You have a ride coming?
My mom is here, but her car is up there.
Okay. Is your car still drivable?
My car is fine.
Okay. I
she dead? Oh, is she dead? That's all I need to know.
I have no idea.
Well, she better be. If she's not, I'm stuffing her in the head. Well,
Again, she doesn't know the girl in the car. These white people just pulled out in the traffic, and these people drag racing slammed into them at 100 miles per hour. And this bitch is saying this about her.
Coming?
No, my mom is here, but her car is up there.
Okay. Is your car still driving?
My car is fine.
Okay.
She dead? Oh, is she dead? That's all I need to know.
I have no idea.
Well, she better be. If she's not, I'm stuffing her in the head. Well,
They have to hold her back from walking over to the car that's cut in half and trying to stomp the dead girl that she just killed in the head. This is what Tim Walz has brought to. The reason I say Tim Walz brought this to Minneapolis is because the reason sisters act like this is because they've been entitled, emboldened. They've been emboldened. BLM in the laxing of laws, the loosening of laws, the handcuffs on the police, the constraints on law enforcement, the just basically making sisters, black people need to know there's consequences. If we don't know there's consequences to nothing, we just gonna do anything. So this is what you're seeing because of people like Tim Walz in Minnesota, and you're going to get more of this. It's only going to get worse.
I'm going to my car.
Allow me wait here for a second.
No.
I don't think you're able to.
Yes, I am. I'm fine.
No, I don't think
I'm going to my sister. I'm going to my sister. Camille, she left. Camille, she left.
She's gone. Yeah, that's that one. I'm just telling you.
I was saying, my car is fine though. I'm going to say it's fine. I'm not moving here. I just need my phone and my shoes.
That's what I'm going to get for you.
Okay.
Just stay right here, please. Hi, I'm Matt. I know.
Look at my baby.
I'm sorry.
Is she dead?
Your sister or
no? That.
I don't know, ma'am. I'm very sorry I can't give that information, but we just want you to be safe right now.
I'm fine. I just want my stuff. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, this must be really hard.
Yeah.
Looks like
You didn't get my phone.
Okay. Your car might be locked, so we can't.
It's not. My keys are in the car. It's not gonna lock.
Okay. Where's your phone?
It's in the car. It's connected to the. It's connected to a white plug.
Okay.
I have to get it. My mom's gonna call me.
I think he has it. It's with your shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see it in his hand.
Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. But the tried to hit him. They tried to. I'm sorry.
She don't know that it's on camera, and she don't know that it's witnesses, so she's blaming it on the dead girl. She doesn't know that there's cameras everywhere on the street, and she doesn't know that the car has a sensor that tells how fast they were going, and there were witnesses. She doesn't know that. She thinks that her testimony is the only one that the cops are going to get. So she's trying to persuade the cops that the girl in the red car that's cut in half is the one who hit her.
White plug.
Okay.
I have to get it. My mom's gonna call me.
I think he has it. It's with your shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see it in his hand.
Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. But the tried to hit him. They tried to. I'm sorry. Person tried to hit him.
Easy. Right here. You're the auntie? Okay. All right, go right over there. They went to Richie. And they're both. Passengers in the white car are okay. I don't know yet. Let's just get you off the street. I need everybody to go on the other side of the road.
I'm going to the hospital. I'm going to the hospital.
We'll get it taken care of.
Okay. All right, I gotta
go get my truck over there.
Okay.
Sterling, you stay with me.
Let me walk with you.
Okay. Oh my God.
All right, guys.
Are both of them going to Hennepin County Medical Center?
They're either going to Hennepin or Ridgeview. Ridgeview is closer.
Well, I was told that Tiana was going to Ridgeview Medical because this is both her children.
So then they're going to Ridgeview, which is in Burnsville.
They're going to the Ridgeview Hospital that's in Burnsville. To do a quick look. I know. That's why I hope that. That's the one in Burnsville. I hope that she is because she. Why is that car like that? Can you talk to her?
She's still audibly yelling that she hopes the girl who's still in the car, because the car is cut in half and smashed like a milk carton. She's out here yelling that she hopes she's dead. And she's never met her or laid eyes on her in her life. She just knows that there was a girl in the car.
She just said that they just passed that hospital.
She tried to beat him, and then I tried to go around her so he wouldn't hit her.
They went to the county in Minneapolis.
They both went to county in Minneapolis.
She tried to beat him still.
Let's move to this
And then
next
she
door,
tried to
okay?
go around her.
I don't know why they took them over there, Mama. I don't know.
This phone pussy owner has a big cut right here. Her knee's gonna come out of me.
Camille's sitting with you.
We're still, we have to wait for the medical examiner to get here before we can touch any of the cars. You could expedite, we're going to go 10-15 with this thing. So what was your first name?
Camille.
Okay, Camille, here's what's going to happen is we're going to be placing you under arrest.
Why?
For criminal vehicular operation.
How?
Well, you were racing your brother.
No, I was not.
So here's what we're going to do. We have to examine all of our phones and that type of stuff. So like I said, we can go two ways. If we have to put you in handcuffs, we're going to take you back to our station to talk to you.
Nobody was racing. We were going 65.
Okay.
Look how her voice changed. Oh, man, fuck that bitch. I hope that bitch dead. If she ain't dead, I'm gonna go kill her, man. Now she's fucking Stephen Urkel and shit. Stephanie Urkel. Let me drop the link, man. This is Minnesota, man. This is what's in Minnesota now, man. This is Minnesota. This soda, y'all. Soda. Soda, y'all.
So I understand that.
No.
Okay, so you think you're going 65?
We weren't even going that fast, and I watched it. That's the thing. I watched it,
okay.
And he was even behind me.
So who squealed out at the intersection there?
What was that?
Who squealed out back at that intersection way down there? Did you have a witness that said that somebody smoked pouring over the tires?
No, we did not. We left at the same time. Nobody had wheels nor nothing.
Okay.
That whoever told you that is lying,
okay.
And I'm just gonna say it like this: whoever told you who said that, most likely is probably white, and I know it is.
This wouldn't be the first time Camille.
She pulled the race car.
Behind me.
So who squealed out at the intersection there?
What was that?
Who squealed out back at that intersection way down there? Did you have a witness that said that somebody smoked pouring over the tires?
No, we did not. We left at the same time. Nobody had wheels nor nothing.
Okay.
That whoever told you that is lying,
okay.
And I'm just gonna say it like this: whoever told you who said that, most likely is probably white, and I know it is.
This wouldn't be the first time Camille has claimed being prejudiced against while being accused of a crime. Before the day of the crash, Camille held several speeding tickets in her records, even though she was just 19 years old. Her first ticket listed she was traveling 50 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone, 20 miles over the speed limit. Her second speeding charge was for going 58 miles in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, 13 miles over the speed limit. However, the ticket details that she was very argumentative with the officer in this situation. The report shared swears that she argued she was pulled over due to her loud music and her being black, then claimed she was traveling that speed on a hill. And then when the officer handed her the ticket, she crumpled it up and tossed it into the passenger seat of her vehicle. Her third ticket was listed as duty to drive with due care speed, where no specific speed data is cited. More details on more of her tickets will be covered shortly.
We were not.
What's up, Cook County, man? What's happening, man? What's cracking?
You know, nothing, man. Just got out the car, driving, not being harassed by the police.
Not racing, no, none of that.
You weren't racing at all?
No,
Okay.
I told him for a simple fact, I'm gonna tell you just like this. For a simple fact, we are black. It is a nice day outside. I know that the police are out. We see the state troopers out. We were not going fast. I said, we're going to just go the speed limit up here. He said, okay. His car has more horsepower than mine does. So obviously it's going to sound like it.
Such a bad liar, man. It's like my daughter trying to lie to me, man.
Bro, this is a bad person, yo.
Yeah. She's a horrible person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and listen, I blame her. Yes, you could say DNA or just her personality, but it's also the climate that people like Tim Walz and super liberals, a lot of the policies they have in Minneapolis, they're rolling back things like it was 2020. It's basically still 2020 up there. They're like rolling back all these laws and letting criminals out of jail. And
no, you ain't lying.
It's bad up there, man.
Yo, the shit with Tim Walz, right? So last night I was watching, obviously watching the debate or whatever. Him talking to another glider, you'll be like, not, you know what I'm saying? He don't seem like a bad guy. He'll look goofy, but it is what it is. But he is passing or signing off on some evil shit.
Yes.
But like watching the debate, you would not believe all the evil shit that he's approving and signing off on that he's agreeing with, because he's woke as fuck. But glider to glider, you would never know that,
Right. The other glider was very respectful, but he was doing that strategically.
Because I know how the engine sounds. Okay. And I'm gonna spit fact. My car is slow.
Okay.
But I was in front, so he knows I was in front.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm gonna be in front because he's gonna follow my lead. We were not going fast. She gassed on it. When I mean she gassed on it, she didn't see him because he was behind me. My car was up there, but I moved it up here because it was rolling back and it was still in drive. I don't want to mess up my transmission. She gassed on it to try to beat him.
Okay, so I appreciate you telling me all that type of stuff. So, like I said, our process is this. Okay,
Please don't do that.
So
I'm already black and it already looks bad
it
enough.
has nothing to do with race, man. We have 2 people that are dead right now caused by an accident.
Because
you and
she
your brother
gassed on it.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with me and my brother.
Okay,
we were not speeding. What do you not understand?
You know what the speed limit is on here?
Yes, it's 55. We were going 60.
Okay.
It's not my problem that she wanted to be a dumb bitch and try to beat us. Okay. That's not my problem. Okay. You placing me under arrest for something that.
This is crazy. I missed the beginning. Did they show the actual crash?
No. White lives don't matter. I hope you guys understand that. Press 1. White lives do not matter to these people. How long have you been watching, Crook?
I started watching when she was lying.
Did you hear her cussing out the girl, saying she's gonna like go stomp her head?
Yeah. That bitch, she better. Is she dead? She better be dead.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
We did not do. We have digital dashes, bro.
We're gonna get all that.
We have digital dashes.
So
therefore, we were going 60.
So you don't have to yell at me.
I have to because you don't understand.
Okay, so here's what is gonna happen.
No, I'm not. Okay. You're not placing me under arrest or anything.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, baby, I love you. I love all of you guys.
Stay there.
Let's stay, please, baby.
You're gonna be in handcuffs in a minute if you don't stay over there.
Please, baby, I love you guys. I love all you guys.
Let's go put on our super.
I love you, Mom. Yep. And yes, they did use force, and I was not resisting.
So, Miss, what we'll do is we'll take a statement from you and everything you said.
Can you take me out of these, please?
When we get back to our station, okay?
Love you guys.
Can you, Jay, you want to pat her down? Yep.
I don't have anything.
I know, I gotta make sure.
They nothing in my ass. I ain't even got no drawers on.
Just listen.
I ain't even got no drawers on.
Facts, Joe Curry, man. Facts, Joe Curry. Oh no, who said that? Oh no, Sammy Jr. Facts, Sammy Jr. And make sure y'all support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. Hit the like button, man. What's going on, Ray Wall, man? What's happening?
Yo, what up, Bob?
What's your impression of this young lady, man?
All I'm thinking about is, one, if it was full of sons there, they would believe her 100%. They take her side and they be yelling at the cops. She ain't do nothing. You know?
That's true.
Two, everything they taught us about what happened back in the past is up for question now, because look how easily she lied. All that racism, you couldn't walk down the street, all that stuff is up for question now. I don't believe any of it now.
Yeah, exactly, man.
There were no cameras back in the day, so you just had to take their word for it. So.
and you see the way they behave too.
Yep.
What's up, Johnny Reb? Johnny Reb in the building. Long time no see. Johnny Reb, man. Op Nation.
So yeah, how's it going?
What's going on?
I was watching the debate last night, and I saw that Tim Walz said, "Yeah, his son witnessed the shooting." There's been people that have found the shooting he witnessed. It was at the Jimmy Lee Recreation Center in St. Paul in 2023, January of 2023. Xavier Binford Jr. shot a 26-year-old man shot a 16-year-old in the rec center.
Put that in the back chat, please. Put that in the back chat.
I bet you probably covered I got the Twitter link to the story, and I did a map of the location where he was, where the volleyball court would have been in the gym. It's about 200 yards away behind the building.
Go ahead, Crook.
That motherfucker lies so much, man. It's kind of crazy because, like, the other side, if you watch, like, the the mainstream media, they was talking about how JD Vance lied and lied and lied. This motherfucker real deal be lying about shit he don't have to lie about, G. Like, this dude is different, bro.
She should have chose the other guy, man. I think she didn't choose the other guy because he's Juice Crew.
He's Jewish. She should have chose Ben Shapiro, yeah.
The liberals don't like Juice Crew now openly, but she should have chose him because him being Juice Crew would have not been as bad as this guy being himself. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Salute to my man Aster J, man. He says, hard not to hate sons. Really hard.
No, I agree, bro. This dude lies about shit that we can confirm, like we can fact check that shit. Like, why the fuck would you say you in fucking China doing some huge ass revolutionary ass thing when you were speaking on a radio station from your crib? You get what I'm saying? Like
maybe think about this though. Do you think he ever thought that they would be dumb enough to pick him for vice president?
Oh fuck no, because Trump. What did Trump say? He said the reason why he won't run for office is because, like, the only people that run for office are people that took no risk and have no baggage because they never actually accomplish anything. That's why he said he had never run for president, because he took risk, and there's people, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, hated him or had a vindictive because of him because he accomplished things and was successful. The only people that really run for office that don't have any dirt are people that never took risks and never really was successful at anything.
Yeah. Salute to Jeffrey in the building, man. He says, search Minnesota crime on YouTube. Crazy story. Okay, we're going to do that, man. Thank you, Jeffrey, man. Let's get back to the programming.
While both Leon and Camille were arrested that day, they were both released shortly after pending charges. However, prosecutors did charge and arrested the driver of the white vehicle that made contact in the crash, Leon Bond III, who faced charges 6 months later.
The in-depth coverage you've seen so far has been made possible because of the support of our sponsors like Morgan & Morgan. We've brought you mind-boggling video of crashes like these for years. But what happens to the victims? Apart from sometimes serious injuries, they can face months of paperwork, enormous medical bills, and
by him as an adult, including a delinquency petition and a petition for adult verification, both of which were denied. Because he was tried as a juvenile, the details surrounding his case are not readily available or public. However, we do know some things, which includes a peek into Leon's school history with fights. One appellate case reveals that Leon's mother legally went after a school official when he attempted to prevent a fight that involved Leon, his 2 sisters, and another student. The case accuses the school official of dislocating Leon's arm while attempting to prevent the fight. This case was ultimately denied by the court due to there being a lack of willful or malicious wrong in the school official's actions. While Leon's case was being determined, Camille was also charged 6 months after the crash with charges surrounding her direct involvement by drag racing. During that 6-month period before her arrest, Camille got pulled over and charged for driving on a revoked license. Her license was revoked due to her failing to address her 3 previous speeding charges. She then got another speeding ticket that listed her going 59 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone, 24 miles over the speed limit. In that pullover, she stated she was going downhill as the reason she was traveling so fast. In October of 2021, she was issued an arrest warrant and faced 2 counts of third-degree murder, 2 counts of criminal vehicular homicide, 1 count of criminal vehicular operation resulting in great bodily harm, and 1 count of careless driving. The warrant she was issued revealed more details surrounding the incident, including a deeper look into post-event interviews and forensic research. The report detailed surveillance footage that shows the intersection they started the race at. Witness testimony shares that the 2 exchanged a conversation here, pertaining to whose car could accelerate faster. After that alleged conversation, the 2 cars take off well ahead of the other vehicles surrounding them. Another surveillance camera captures the impact. Moments before, you can see just how long it takes for this uninvolved vehicle to enter the right side of the frame and pass the area where the crash happens. When Camille and Leon's vehicles zoom by moments later, it takes roughly half the time. A crash reconstruction report reveals data obtained by the airbag control module in Leon's vehicle. The report indicated Leon and his sister Camille, who was traveling alongside him, were going 114 miles per hour just 5 seconds.
Wow, on a city street, 114 miles per hour.
Yo, you know who her driving record remind me of?
Hold on, Sandra Bland.
Yeah, man, it's like Sandra, man.
She a young Sandra. She would have took some time to catch up to Sandra, though.
Yeah, Sandra had motherfucking traffic arrests in every goddamn west suburb in the city of Chicago.
I'm telling you, she did.
Seconds before the crash, 64 miles over the posted 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. Court documents also indicated Leon and Camille were over 3 football fields away when Dalton and Taylor started to take the turn. They traveled roughly 3/4 of a mile after taking off from the intersection before crashing. Her and her brother's vehicle were traveling between 93 and 106 miles an hour before Leon's vehicle struck Dalton and Taylor. The day after her arrest on October 29, 2021, Camille posted a $75,000 non-cash bond, which came with conditions that notably did not exclude her driving privileges, allowing her to drive despite the
So she got to still drive after she did this stuff.
And her shit revoked though, so that kind of like they was like, you don't supposed to be driving anyway. So sometimes the courts do that. If you already don't have driving privileges, they wouldn't even waste their time putting it in there.
mysteriousness behind her case. 2 months after her release on bond, court records indicate she got in a car accident where she claimed another driver was at fault. She issued a small claims case to the court for the other individual to pay a sum greater than $4,500. In the following year, she won this.
She won that court. So she got another accident and sued the person. Yo, this chick is just moving on with her life. Listen,
every death
on the page immediately though. I wonder if she still wants to kill that white girl that was in that car, man. I wonder if she's still mad at her.
Yeah, because she's a bad person. This is the type of person that needs to run into the Ray Rays and the Jaquan and the Quantraviuses and get her ass beat. You know what I'm saying? She needs her ass beat.
Court case due to the other party not showing up. She was given yet another speeding ticket in May of 2022. This time, she was caught going 83 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour zone, 23 miles over the speed limit. In this pullover, the ticket cites that Camille was unaware of the speed limit, cried, and explained to the officer that she had a bad experience with law enforcement before and was afraid of cops. State records allegedly showed her car's registration was expired despite the stickers on her car displaying she was up to date. In January of 2023, 3 months shy of 2 years after the car crash, news reports indicate that Camille's brother Leon pled guilty to 2 counts of third-degree murder. He was sentenced to 25 years of prison that same month. Because inmates only have to serve 2/3 of their sentence before transferring to probation, this means he should be out of jail in 16 years and 8 months, or in September of 2039, when he is 36 years old. However, rules apply differently for juvenile cases. Here is an image posted on what appears to be Leon's Facebook page, posted in September of 2023, where he seems to be under house arrest. He proudly holds what looks to be $1,000 in cash with a smile on his face. Because Leon was being tried as a juvenile, he was put on probation until the age of 21, with a stayed sentence of 25 years in prison. As long as Leon doesn't break probation by age 21, his sentence will be considered served. In mid-2024, Leon turned 21 and successfully completed his probation. His sentence for murdering Dalton and Taylor is considered served. His sister, who operated the other racing vehicle, Camille Dennis Bond, faced a slew of charges as an adult for her involvement, making her case information more readily available. Through court deliberations, Camille's defense team would not only argue that she was not at fault due to her not being in the vehicle that struck Taylor and Dalton, but would go as far as to say Dalton should have yielded before the turn, and even suggested Dalton was at fault for the crash. In this section of the video, we will cover the surprising court deliberations that brought the case to its conclusion. In court, several factors were brought to light through witness and expert testimonies. While there are some notable instances of witnesses ascribing the scene to being horrific and the worst thing they have ever experienced, some more frustrating revelations deemed that Camille and her brother Leon were not only reckless with their actions, but continued to be reckless after bystanders had told them to slow down prior to the crash. Court testimony details that a bystander noticed descriptions of Camille's and Leon's vehicles traveling at a high rate of speed past her house in a residential neighborhood. This frustrated the witness as it was Easter Sunday, and there were children outside. This witness noticed that the pair parked down the street from her residence, so she decided to walk down to the cars to tell them to slow down. This witness's testimony matched the descriptions of Camille, her passenger friend Lynn, and the description of the vehicles Camille and her brother were driving. After the neighbor had spoke to them directly about slowing down, she claims the cars then sped past her on the road as she was walking back to her home, which was an inferred attempt at retaliation. This neighbor then tried calling 911 at 10:28 over their reckless behavior, roughly 4 minutes before the crash happened. Unfortunately, it appears the call didn't connect, and the neighbor decided to let it go, seeing as she only had a partial license plate to work with. A couple days later, when she saw a news article involving the vehicles, she claims to have recognized the plate based off the partial she had, causing her to call the authorities to inform them of the racing activity she saw the pair engaged in earlier that morning. If that wasn't jarring enough, the prosecuting attorney also called up Lynn, the passenger in Camille's car, and revealed Camille and Leon's lack of remorse over the whole situation. Lynn claims that she was best friends with Camille, but ceased the relationship over the morality of the situation. Lynn supported the neighbor's claim that Camille and Leon were not driving safe in the neighborhood, and confirmed that the neighbor had spoken to both Camille and Leon. She also shared that, in the moments before the pair sped off at the intersection, Camille and Leon exchanged a conversation through their car car windows over who could accelerate faster. Camille in past interrogations claimed that this was true, though she informed her brother not to go faster than 55 miles an hour so that they wouldn't be pulled over. Lynn's testimony contradicted that claim, citing the pair never talked about speed limits. During her testimony, Lynn admitted she was scared during her 911 call because she had realized the car Camille was driving could have just as easily impacted Dalton and Taylor's vehicle. She shared that Camille was largely concerned about the damage to the car and the condition of her siblings, but that nobody went to the red car and that Camille was unremorseful. Lynn also detailed that at a time after the crash during a birthday party, Camille and Leon, among other family members, held a conversation blaming the red car for the accident despite their excessive speeds. She further shares that the Bond family seemed to only care about their own family being injured and held no empathy or sadness for Dalton or Taylor's passing. Lynn also cited that she stopped being friends with Camille after the birthday party because she felt sad, traumatized, and remorseful while Camille felt differently. Other witnesses appeared on the stand to share their opinions of Camille and Leon's driving. One witness shared they told others after witnessing their speeds that they're going to kill somebody moments before the crash. Other witnesses added more claims to Camille's words on scene, including, "The f***ing better be dead or I'll find her and kill her," and "You stupid dumbass effing white bitch." Others sharing, "In all the years I've been driving, I've never seen two cars drive like that before." And that witnesses found it jarring. Camille didn't attempt to help her injured sister, but was able to maintain threatening 2 fatal crash victims. The defense's argument that Dalton and Taylor's vehicle should have yielded brought frustrations to witnesses taking the stand. One individual having what appears to be a heated back and forth over the perceived ridiculousness of his argument. One professional opinion on the stand debunked the defense's right-of-way argument, citing that statutorily.
Well, we got that. More going
Greetings
on.
and salutations, loyal viewers of this
Yeah.
channel. My name is Sean, and today we got to talk about what is going down in the state of Minnesota, because last year, Governor Tim Walz signed yet another woke piece of criminal justice reform legislation, and this one in particular is leading to the release of potentially hundreds of murderers throughout the state. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
2 women convicted for their roles in a murder case are now out of prison. They were released this week and may be the very first inmates in Minnesota to have their sentences reduced under new legislation.
So I think it's important for you guys to understand what we're talking about before we move forward. So the law that we're talking about is Minnesota's aiding and abetting statute, specifically aiding and abetting murder, which if you are familiar with the language of this statute, you might determine it to be very similar, if not identical, to felony murder statutes in your particular jurisdiction. And the way that felony murder works, and by the way, I will use them interchangeably throughout the course of this segment, is as follows. You and somebody else decide that you are going to commit a felony, whether it be a bank robbery in the most classic example, and during the course of that bank robbery, one party ends up shooting the teller. Well, under felony murder statute, or aiding and abetting murder, as it is defined in the state of Minnesota, both of you would go down and be held responsible to the same degree because you guys both agreed to participate in the underlying felony, and a possible logical result of that underlying felony would be somebody dying. And that is the way that it worked in the state of Minnesota for the longest period of time. However, George Floyd ends up dying in 2020. A rush of woke criminal justice laws end up getting passed throughout the country, and Minnesota is the epicenter of that. So there have been changes made to this law, essentially making it nearly impossible to convict many common felony murder cases under the previous standard. And on top of that, this statute is retroactive, so that gives defendants or people convicted of these crimes opportunities to appeal and get their sentences reduced, if not thrown out, under the parameters of the new statute.
Wow. That's what Tim Walz wants to do to America. And these laws, I'm telling you, man, some people need to know that there's consequences to things. When you remove consequences for us, it affects us more than any other group. Yes, everybody would be, more likely to, commit offenses if there's nothing stopping them. There's no hammer at the end of the road, to keep them in line. But sons, we are the worst when it comes to that.
This wasn't supposed to happen. Everything went so fast.
So the headlines and the news segments related to people getting released dates back all the way 7 months to February of this year, where the first successful appeal under the new law let out 2 women who participated in a crime that resulted in somebody dying, one of which you heard weeping right there on the microphone.
Brianna Martinson and Megan Cater were charged and ultimately pleaded guilty to aiding in the murder of Corey Elder in Bloomington while trying to rob him of drugs in 2017. The women were initially sentenced to matching 13.5-year prison sentences, even though they did not actually help kill Elder. But the state legislature recently rewrote the laws on aiding and abetting the crime of felony murder. So now only those who directly commit the murder or directly aid them can be charged with the crime. The new law can also be applied retroactively to those already in prison. This week, Martinson and Cater were resentenced on lesser burglary charges and released 2.5 years early.
So right there, we get a perfect example of what we were talking about in terms of the felony murder statute and why it was in effect. These particular women did in fact participate in the robbery of a drug dealer who ultimately ended up dying when a third person initiated the kill against them. However, they all went down for felony murder and they were sentenced to 13 years for their troubles in this particular instance. However, they ended up getting it reduced under this new law, which says that you have to actively participate in the homicide, effectively repealing felony murder. In fact, the exception that was added was as follows. A person may not be held criminally liable for a violation of section 609.185, paragraph A, clause 3, for the death caused by another unless the person intentionally aided, advised, hired, counseled, or conspired with, or otherwise procured the other with intent to cause the death of a human being. And then you have section B, which says a person may not be held criminally liable for a violation of section 609.19, subdivision 2, clause 1, for the death caused by another, unless the person was a major participant in the underlying felony and acted with extreme indifference to the human life. And major participant is redefined as used a deadly weapon during the commission.
They're attacking the law at the roots. You dig what I'm saying? And this stuff right here is stuff that the average person who's picking up their kids from practice and going here, going to work, getting groceries, you don't have time to look into all of this stuff. You know what I mean? You don't know that this is what's going on in your district or in where you're from. You don't know this is what your politicians are doing because a crackhead OD'd in police custody 4 years ago.
At the end of the day, it's you kind of always lose. Like, put it this way, it's a lot easier to destroy the Mona Lisa than it is to paint it. You know, like you can't always be on like Harambe watch. Like, society just cannot be on Harambe watch all day. It's an impossible task.
Harambe watch.
Of the underlying felony, or provided a deadly weapon to another participant where it was reasonably foreseeable that the weapon would be used in the underlying felony, or cause substantial bodily harm to another during the commission of the underlying felony. They also have the coerced or hired, which we understand, and they have the impeded another person from preventing the death either by physical action or by threat of physical action where it was reasonably foreseeable that death or great bodily harm would result. So this is what is so troubling about the change in definition of major participant, because in this particular circumstance, let's say you decide to rob a bank with somebody. However, that person is armed and not given a firearm by you, and you are not armed during your participation. Even if you guys planned the robbery together, even if you were well aware that that person was armed, if that person ends up shooting a teller, you are not going to go down for felony murder anymore. That is just not a possibility. And if you don't think that my interpretation of this law is accurate, we actually have a similar yet slightly different scenario that ended up resulting in a release just earlier this week.
I will vacate the sentence, the convictions and sentences.
When the judge's order came down.
And I'm sorry for the reopening of the wounds so late.
The family of Malcolm Cowens watched from across the country.
So right there, you have the recent instance that we're talking about that has concerned a lot of prosecutors, because the judge not only vacated the sentence, but also vacated the conviction in this particular felony murder case. And she apologized for reopening these wounds for the family members who have to live with the fact that somebody that was locked up and serving the consequences of their actions will now be released onto the streets. But in reality, because Governor Walz signed this stupid woke piece of legislation and it's retroactive, there's not really a lot the judge can do.
Sorry. I practice this a lot, but it's mattering. Anyway.
15 years now after her twin brother's murder. Some words still hard to find. Others, though, are not.
There will be no forgiveness or forgetting.
Rosalind McDonald Richards was convicted of aiding and abetting first-degree murder in the deadly 2009 Richfield pawn shop shooting of Cowens, a local boxer who was struck in the back attempting to flee. She was sentenced to life behind bars.
Now, there may be some differences of opinion for those of you out there in my audience on this particular case, so I will give you the parameters of this so you can understand and maybe decide whether or not you think felony murder charges are warranted. But under the law, it was completely unambiguous that they definitely were prior to this change in the law. So Rosalind was acting as the getaway driver during this particular armed robbery. You have the victim who ended up trying to flee for his life because a man comes in with a gun trying to rob the place, and he is shot in the back, dies in cold blood, ends up escaping in the vehicle with Rosalind, who is perfectly fine with the fact that she just heard a gunshot and she drives away with her co-conspirator. So again, like the bank robber example, you're an active participant in a crime that has a reasonable chance that somebody could die. Somebody does die. She ends up getting tagged with felony murder charges. But now she's released because I guess being a getaway driver is not all that serious anymore because the statute has been amended.
But the 72-year-old is now a free woman.
Rosalind, may I ask you what these first few steps feel like?
She's no comment today. She's happy to be going home.
We were there. She walked out of the Shakopee prison in May.
It's not an exoneration.
Criminal defense attorneys Anders Erickson and Pete Johnson represented Rosalind, believed to be the very first to have a life sentence tossed as part of the new state law that went into effect about a year ago.
This new law is meant for the people who never intended to kill anyone, did not kill anyone.
So look, I got no hate for the defense attorneys right here. It is their job to advocate for their client, and they even start off by saying that this is not an exoneration, and considering all the different various innocence fraud style movements across this country, I find that to be a bit of a reprieve to hear. But then they start to argue that, hey, look, they never intended to kill anyone, they didn't participate in that portion of the crime or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, that's not why we had the aiding and abetting statute. That's not why we had felony murder. The idea that you intended to participate in a felony that was dangerous, that could result in somebody dying, that intent was believed to be enough in order to make that charge.
Yeah.
Muted out.
Salute to David D. Hart, man. He says, it's a thing. White girl goes to a bar with friends. A black guy gives her his number. Girl leaves friends, goes home, calls the black guy over, dead the next day. Saw 3 crime videos to say. Wow. I believe you, man. Salute to Eric S., man, Ox Nation Hall of Famer, man. He says, I'm just trying to do my part to support a son-man business. Yeah, man, support son-owned businesses, man. So, yeah, man, that place is a shithole, man. It's not what I think, man. When I thought of Minnesota, I was not thinking of all of that, man. All of this shit, man. Nigga shit.
You get out of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it's actually pretty red and nice. But the population of Minneapolis, St. Paul overwhelms the rest of the state.
Yeah, but if those people move out there into those red areas will become bad too. So wherever those people go, it's a wrap.
Well, through our Battling for New Orleans series, we're examining how the city brought down violent crime rates dramatically. Tonight, Tan Trong explores the one element local law enforcement says is critical to making the city safer.
The New Orleans Police Department made gains in violent crime reductions in areas such as its homicide clearance rate. For 6 out of the last 8 years, the NOPD says it's cleared less than 50% of its homicide cases. In August, its clearance rate was 76%. Detective James Fife has been on a personal streak of clearing 18 consecutive homicides.
Wow.
He reluctantly talked about that streak when he sat down with us over the summer. Detective Fife says better use of technology is helping the force solve more crimes, including murders.
We always spend a lot of time just canvassing for video in the city. We get a lot of help from those real-time crime center cameras throughout, greater New Orleans, and just try and piece it all together.
It may be hard to measure, but Fife says he's noticed more involvement from the community, something law enforcement constantly cites as one of the most crucial factors in solving crimes.
I think what we're seeing is more public buy-in and cooperation and maybe more witness testimony.
More people wanting to talk.
I think so. Just in my short term in homicide, last 3 years, I think I've noticed a slight change to our benefit in that regard. And that could just be speaking to NOPDs.
So he said, Negroes is snitching, man, down there in the NO, man. They talk.
Work towards consent decree milestones and maybe building that public trust back.
The importance of tapping into the community is something that keeps coming up.
Community members are one, staying on the scene when a crime occurs and pointing the finger at the person that committed the crime because they believe we care about the right person getting arrested and that right person will get a fair trial. And they're also coming to court. We haven't had to use material witness warrants. And so there's a bit more of the team mentality of public safety with community working with electeds and working with public servants to get it done.
When community has a seat at the table, they feel like they own the situation.
The New Orleans Police Department is doing more with less, and part of the way they're doing that is through leveraging technology, but they're also doing more with less because they have the cooperation of the community.
Melanie Talia is a founding member of the NOLA Coalition, an organization that formed within the business and civic communities 2 years ago as a response to the city's surging violent crime. The coalition's mission is to find ways to not only reduce crime, but to make those reductions lasting.
Policing was important for the near term, but we were dealing with generational issues.
To take on those generational issues, the coalition's leadership says it had to make a financial investment in the community. The coalition set a goal of raising $15 million within 3 years and give that money to local nonprofits, especially ones working with kids. According to the coalition, it's raised more than $8 million in the past 2 years.
So if you look at the money that was spent in the first year, that went to over.
So they're crediting programs, and I guarantee you those programs don't have shit to do with why crime is going down there. Not a fucking thing. They just raised $8 million to throw into the fucking ocean.
No, they raised $8 million to throw into the grifters' hands, so they can throw it. So they can spend it on whatever they want to and then beg for what they need.
Yeah.
I mean, if money could solve this, we would succeed. Like how long do we have to throw money at it? They would have succeeded by now. That's all it took.
Tough on crime. They're trying not to say that. Look, man, we clamped down on crime, man. We started giving longer sentences, and we stopped, playing with these criminals. They're trying to say, oh, it's because the community's cooperating and programs are helping you stay off the street.
$1 million in the past 2 years.
So if you look at the money that was spent in the first year, that went to over 5,300 young people who were served in mentorship programs, in sports programs, in job training programs, and mental health programs. We'll never know the exact correlation between those services and the reduction in crime. But what I can say is that both in spirit and in dollars, we have focused on our youth. And over the last year, juvenile homicides have declined 71%.
Since our interview, updated stats from the NOPD show juvenile homicides dropped by 1 point to 70%.
Children are more involved now. You had more children playing the games at home. Now children get more involved in sports.
Former
more
gangbanger.
involved in STEM, organizations like myself, and they're just getting more active now, and I think that helps.
Coach Derek Henderson runs a nonprofit called Don't Stop Dreaming. His office is lined with countless pictures of players he's mentored or coached at Harrell Park in Pigeontown. That includes Super Bowl champion Odell Beckham Jr.
The far right is Odell Beckham. He played here when he was 8 years old. Over there on the left, that's Aeneas Williams. He's a Hall of Fame.
Coach Henderson has worked with kids for decades, taking them on field trips to places like the Infinity Science Center, the Air Base in Belle Chase, and the DA's office. He says until recently, he never got financial help.
I was using my car note. I was using my house notes to make this program work every summer, just so we can do field trips.
After the NOLA Coalition formed, he received a grant for $2,500. It's a relatively small amount of money compared to the millions of dollars.
So this fucking guy who's actually doing the shit, whether it makes a difference or not, he gets $2,500 out of the $8 million.
Yeah, he's fucking it up, man. Like, we're just cooked if this is the type of shit we're up against. Like, it's just a fucking sewer system of like theft, really.
The NOLA Coalition formed, he received a grant for $2,500. It's a relatively small amount of money compared to the millions of dollars the coalition has raised, but to Henderson's nonprofit, it makes a big difference.
It gives you the opportunity to do things that these children weren't able to do in the past. At the field trips that we've been attending, these children couldn't get a chance to see it if it wasn't for people like GNO's organization make it affordable that we can do these things.
Coach Henderson has been around long enough to see the city's crime rate go up and down before, but he says this current decline seems different.
Because we have more opportunities. See, 2 years ago, we didn't have the same opportunity and the leadership that we have now in the city, so that also helps.
It seems like you have more confidence in what's
Yes,
happening.
sir. Yes, sir.
Why do you think that is for you?
Well, because some of the people that's in leadership now, you can talk to, like Michael Hex and people at GNO. I have a relationship built with those guys, and we form now a family, and it's working for the community with the youth.
No one we interviewed in our Battling for New Orleans series pointed to just one policy or strategy that brought about the city's dramatic drop in violent crime. They told us to zoom out and place additional pieces like the state police's specialized unit, Troop NOLA, in the overall...
Oh, at the very end. So they went to the very end.
Fucking sneaky shit there.
Well, that's that new Republican Louisiana governor sitting in the state police.
Yeah. Okay. So
boots on the ground.
You gotta wait till. So most people won't watch this whole thing because like they'll just watch the first one. Oh, it's community involvement in programs. Oh, great.
No one we interviewed in our Battling for New Orleans series pointed to just one policy or strategy that brought about the city's dramatic drop in violent crime. They told us to zoom out and place additional pieces like the state police's specialized unit, Troop NOLA, in the overall puzzle of public safety. They encouraged us to look at how the shutting down of a 24-hour tire shop can affect the number of shootings. And they directed us to a coach whose work with kids shows us crime fighting isn't always about kicking in doors. How long this lower level of crime can last is anyone's guess, but there's a growing consensus that for any crime initiative to truly work, it requires the community. In New Orleans, Tan Trung, Fox 8 Local First.
To see all three reports from our
What's crazy is that Tiger in that interview, he knows, like when he's asking these stupid fucking questions, he knows in the back of his mind, he's like, yeah, I got a son and a daughter at home, and I don't really have to do much other than, put a roof over the head and give them some food, and they're going to grow up to not become like criminal gangbangers.
Yeah. But he also understands that Tiger also understands the differences more so than white people. I think a tiger.
Oh, absolutely. Of course.
They're way different. They're different than white people.
Oh yeah. Their like xenophobia index is way higher. Like they know what's going on.
Yeah. They know that sons are like just off the spectrum.
I'm going to give y'all another life update.
Police identify him as Terrion Thomas, a 20-year-old from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, known as Mr. Prado, with millions of followers on multiple TikTok accounts. This clip being reshared the most today. His joke about practicing his mugshot because this might be the year someone meets God if they piss me off too much. This is the mugshot.
Gosh, man.
Wow, man, this one.
Yeah.
This is a more benign case though. Like this is pretty good. You should be happy with that.
Life imitating art.
Sons, if you're a son, you shouldn't be on social media. Sons should be banned from social media for until they're at least 30 or something like that, so they can get some sort of a temporal lobe.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, listen, I would agree in a perfect world. I would agree with that. Of course, we know that could never happen. But in a perfect world, I would like for sons to, and then you could get on earlier if you pass a test. There's like a test to test your, cognition and your morality and stuff like that. But so I would say 35. Yeah, I would say 35, man, because it wasn't, social media wasn't meant for this. You know what I'm saying? It was not meant for this.
It's not even meant for white people, to be honest. Like, it's not meant for anyone, really, but especially sons.
The white people don't really get themselves in trouble as much. Like, for instance, the amount of crimes, especially with young people, or the shootings and the assaults, that the genesis of that assault or that shooting was a dispute on social media.
Yeah, it's the bat symbol for sons. It's the bat symbol.
Yeah.
For whites, it'll fuck us up differently, like suicide and shit and neurotic tendencies and getting bullied and shit. But we're not going to do the Batman symbol thing.
Yeah, these niggas, and Philly, these drill rappers get on social media and fucking argue with each other about who camp got more dead people than the other camp, who up on the score,
drop the location.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you already know, bro. I'm right here, bro.
Drop the bat symbol.
Well, bro. I'm right now. I'm out here right now. You trying to get active or not? Like, y'all niggas really some bitches, bro.
This is the mugshot for Terrion Thomas today from the Dallas County Jail. A photo taken just last night after his arrest by a fugitive task force as he sat on a park bench in downtown Dallas. Police in Baton Rouge have been searching for him since Sunday. Police there say he fled on foot from a traffic stop after backing into a Baton Rouge police car. The car he was driving was reported stolen and belonged to 69-year-old William Nicholas Abraham, a Baton Rouge therapist, whose body was found Sunday morning wrapped in a tarp alongside a highway in Tangipahoa Parish. Police say he was viciously beaten to death.
We got the call just from a passerby Sunday morning, and that was the first time that our deceased hit our radar.
And I was pretty much, I guess, in shock.
And in surveillance video released in Louisiana, Terrion Thomas identified as the last person seen with him. At this point, Terrion Thomas is charged with aggravated criminal damage to property, resisting arrest, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. He's held without bond in the Dallas County Jail pending transfer back to Louisiana. The East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office not yet saying if he will also be charged with murder. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
New attended only on Tuesday night.
Mr. Prada. Mr. Prada.
I'm finna give y'all another life.
The popular TikToker Mr. Prada is behind bars in Texas tonight on that warrant out of Baton Rouge.
Right now, he's accused of wrecking the car belonging to the murdered Baton Rouge therapist, Nick Abraham. Investigators say their suspect then took off from police and then somehow ended up in Dallas, Texas. Our Georgia Peck is here with some new developments. Georgia, good evening. What can you tell us?
Police in Dallas arrested Mr. Prada late yesterday. Now he's waiting on an extradition hearing to see if a judge will order him back to Baton Rouge to face charges here. This is the mugshot from the Dallas County Jail of Terrion Thomas. The 20-year-old from Louisiana has millions of followers on TikTok, where he goes by the name Mr. Prada. In one of his TikTok videos, he talked about dealing with mental issues.
I'm bipolar. Yeah. Y'all never seen anybody that's bipolar before?
Monday, police released these photos of a person of interest in the Dr. Nick Abraham homicide investigation, saying this person, believed to be the TikToker Terrion Thomas, was last seen driving the doctor's stolen car. Dr. Abraham was found dead Sunday, badly beaten and dumped alongside a highway in Tangipahoa Parish. So far, no one has been charged with his death. The charges Terrion Thomas currently faces are related to what police say happened near this office building off Sherwood Forest Boulevard in Baton Rouge Monday afternoon. That's when they claimed they spotted him in the doctor's stolen car, which he crashed as he tried to get away. Police say he then got out and ran off. Dr. Abraham lived off Corporate Boulevard in Baton Rouge. Police say they still do not know where he was killed and that his home showed no signs of a crime being committed there. Abraham made headlines 9 years ago, back in 2015. Here's a clip from a newscast back then.
A Baton Rouge therapist is under investigation.
He was charged with child molestation, with police saying an 11-year-old patient claimed Abraham had touched him inappropriately during a therapy session. However, that...
Hawk, you're muted.
They're saying that 11-year-old patient was this guy, this kid.
Oh, are they? I wasn't really paying attention. Is that what they're saying for real?
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
9 years ago, back in 2015. Here's a clip from a newscast back then.
A Baton Rouge therapist is under investigation.
He was charged with child molestation.
So this guy's a piece of shit too, man. This guy's a piece of shit. So we might got this thing all wrong, man.
With police saying an 11-year-old patient claimed Abraham had touched him inappropriately during a therapy session. However, that case never went to trial. District Attorney Heller Moore says his office reviewed the case for 2 years and, quote, after considering all available evidence, the best interest of the child, and the lack of any inculpatory statements by the arrestee, we declined to institute formal charges. Defense Attorney Jarrett Ambeau represented Dr. Abraham after that arrest and said the 11-year-old who made those allegations back then was not Terrion Thomas.
Okay. But the internet's saying that it was him. That's what.
Once a judge decides on extradition, law enforcement here will likely travel to Dallas to bring Thomas back here for questioning. Again,
because now he's saying that he was molested.
As of right now, no one has been charged in the doctor's death. Guys.
All right, Georgia, thank you for that.
Because if you go to the black section of the internet, man, they're talking about this. Let me just read this. They're saying, okay, but if that therapist was really molesting him, then we need to be posting the full story instead of making the white man a victim. It's just.
You know what, Ak? I think the gliders, we gotta just look at the situation, look who just died and got crashed out on, look at the demographics and be like, let's take this W right here. Let's just be happy about no gliders getting killed or molested.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, free him. He's a victim.
Yeah, no, keep Mini Harambe in fucking jail where he belongs.
Well, you look at the guy, you see the name Abraham. It kind of looks like somebody fisherman would say is.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but it's I think he's just an umbrito with like with a Juice Crew last name. Like we've culturally appropriated those names at this point. So it's like kind of I think that's what it is.
Yeah, he's a mix of a lot of different things, man.
Smash on that reporter too, man.
New at 6 at Channel 2 Action News exclusive. Police arrested a man who they say tried to sexually assault a stroke patient at Grady Memorial Hospital. The man told police he was high on crack. Channel 2's Michael.
Hold on, let's run that back one more time. Whoa.
New at 6 at Channel 2 Action News exclusive. Police arrested a man who they say tried to sexually assault a stroke patient at Grady Memorial Hospital. The man told police he was high on crack. Channel 2's Michael Seiden is live outside Grady working to find out how the man got past security, Michael.
And Linda, as soon as I found out about what happened inside Grady, I immediately reached out to hospital officials trying to find out how could something like this happen and what security measures are now in place to prevent anything like this from happening again. They declined to answer those questions, citing the ongoing investigation. But I can tell you tonight, talking to former patients and people who have loved ones there, they are upset and they're demanding answers.
I'm a woman. That's terrifying. Nobody should be able to just walk in like that and go anywhere. That's not right.
Terrifying and shocking. Those are just some of the words that these two women used to describe the attempted sexual assault that Atlanta police say happened last Friday inside a patient's room at Grady Memorial Hospital.
So my question is, where was security?
APD says this man, 24-year-old Shaman Pierce, walked into Grady on Friday afternoon, then hopped onto an elevator where he started smoking his crack pipe in front of several.
God damn, what the fuck?
Yeah, yo, bro.
Yo, this like a.
Yo, how did this happen? This is a nightmare, man. This is a nightmare, bro. There's no way like a fisherman and this dude on the screen like can share a space. It's just not normal. Like this ain't it, bro. It's like a bad dream.
This is just a unbridled sunman in rare form.
And he's like, yo, why the fuck you have me here? Like, he's pissed at you. He thinks you're in the wrong.
He just, just smoking crack and raping hoes. Like, that's.
Yeah, he definitely thinks.
If you don't want your glider daughter dating this guy, you're racist. Think about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable.
Says this man, 24-year-old Shaman Pierce, walked into Grady on Friday afternoon, then hopped onto an elevator where he started smoking his crack pipe in front of several nurses. The nurses reported what happened to security, but that's when police say Pierce slipped into the room of a 47-year-old woman who was recovering after suffering a stroke. When the patient woke up, witnesses say she found Pierce naked and on top of her, and as she tried to fight him off, the two fell to the floor. One of the nurses heard the fall and rushed into the room where she found Pierce attempting to sexually assault the patient. Pierce managed to escape from the room, and surveillance video recorded him hiding in a hospital trash can where he put on a used hospital gown, then ran from the building until police arrested him under a bridge. Now, I've reached out to Grady because I want to know how this could have happened, especially when the hospital has its own security team. I've also asked if they've implemented any new security measures that could help prevent this from happening again. But a spokesperson declined to answer my questions, citing the ongoing criminal investigation. Do you think that Grady should answer to this?
100%. That happened in your building. That's your responsibility. Your patient safety is your job.
Yo, that's crazy.
All right, so get this, on the same day as that attack, we also learned that an accused killer actually escaped from Grady In fact, at this moment, he remains on the run. I reached out to Grady. They told me, spokesperson, the arresting law enforcement agency's responsibility is to watch the inmate. We've learned that the suspect was under the custody of the Atlanta City Detention Center when he escaped from custody here at Grady Hospital. We are live in downtown Atlanta. Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
Yo, imagine.
New at 6.
Imagine being a average glider chick, just doing your job, being a nurse, nice, white, and polite, and then all you see is this Pharaoh son man with them big ass eyes, naked, horny as hell, and high off some crack, and he ready to pounce.
Well, wait, didn't that woman she just came out of a coma or something?
Yeah, that's a nightmare. I mean, I mean, Jesus.
You can't even write that as a script, man.
Yeah, nobody would believe that. I spent a lot of time in hospitals the last several years because, my wife being pregnant and having babies and whatnot. Spent a lot of time in hospitals. Yo, man, there's almost no security in hospitals. I'm surprised more stuff doesn't happen in the house. You just walk in the motherfucker. You know what I mean? And there's so many windy, long hallways. You can just listen. The NICU, where they keep the babies, where my daughter was at when she was in the NICU. Yo, yeah, they got a buzzer on the door, but it's not like anybody's manning the babies. The nurses are at the desk. All the babies are in their rooms, little incubators. Anybody can come in there and take one of the babies. It's not like.
Well, we know a son won't do that. That's the one thing we know a son man will not do. He's not taking any babies. He won't even take his own. So we're good on that.
A son man trying to run away from kids, not too.
We begin with Fox 45's Vincent Hill, who looks at the carjacking video and new juvenile crime numbers in Baltimore. Vincent?
Well, Kai Maxine, get this. While most kids were in school, a 12, 2 13-year-olds, a 14-year-old, and a 16-year-old were out doing a carjacking, and police say this isn't their first time in a stolen car.
And that's another thing, to just do such a crime at such a young age, and to just think a 12-year-old just going out yeah, man, go carjack somebody today. That's a black thing.
Oh yeah. Well, yo, gliders haven't even really done started puberty for real at 12. We're 2-3 years behind y'all. Y'all are full grown fucking dudes at that point. It's different.
And 12-year-old, our 12-year-olds out here carjacking, shooting, fucking bitches, cutting class, not listening to their parents, catching cases, all types of shit.
Yeah, wasn't Tamir Rice 5'9" and 159 pounds or something like that at 12?
Damn, I know he was a big kid. But.
Car.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your patience.
This morning at City Hall, Mayor Brandon Scott making this proclamation.
Carjackings are down 9%. Auto thefts are down 42%.
But about an hour later, near the campus of Johns Hopkins,
Northern District just had a carjacking. We need to keep an eye out for this car. It's going to be a 2023 RAV4. White in color. It's easy tag to remember.
Pay attention to the top of your screen.
Just had an accident at Ellerman and Belly Road.
Surveillance video captures the stolen vehicle crashing into another vehicle. Seconds later,
red sweatshirt southbound Belly Road. Red sweatshirt southbound Belly Road.
2 suspects can be seen running from the scene. This angle shows one of them taking off the ski mask described in the carjacking.
We got a medic, 3200 Urban Police. You're not complaining of dangerous space.
Baltimore police arresting 5 juveniles between the ages of 12 and 16 years old. each, with previous arrests for stolen vehicle.
Total violent crime is down 8%. And
You arrest 5 juveniles between 12 and 16 years old, and they all have previous arrests for stolen vehicles.
Bro, what other race of, for the people out here that truly think we all the same? Like, can show us. Where the fuck is it a gang of tigers? A 12-year-old carjacking gang of tigers, man. Come on, bro.
Even hombritos that do get into gang violence don't get that young.
Well, here's the thing about hombritos. Like, hombritos do this. They do have these. They have gangs. They do have gangs in the communities that are even more violent, you know what I'm saying, amongst each other and more strict, but they have a discipline. Their gangs have hierarchies. There's shot callers. There's a hierarchy. A black gang is literally just a group of sons.
It's just a zoo.
Tough. Yeah, maybe the toughest one has rank, but anybody in that crew can kill him. You know what I'm saying? At a dice game, or if he gets slick or something.
It's he can get versus mafia. Like a mafia is organized. It has like at least some sort of an objective other than being a fucking prognostic fucking sunman.
Yeah. In Philly, we got a whole bunch of little sets and shit, especially since the pandemic. But it's all just niggas, dog, that just knew each other. And then they just, you hang out with your boys all day and night. And then y'all just start calling each other some name, some acronym. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the reports that some of the black gangs in Chicago are talking about going to war versus Venezuelan gangs. I'm like, yeah, I'm betting on the Venezuelans.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I'm betting on the Venezuelans.
Like I said, even the nigga with the most rank in the whole clique, anybody can slime that nigga out, bro. Anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And total property crime is down 18% in Baltimore.
But according to the latest numbers from the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office,
have there been a lot?
The number of juveniles charged with carjacking or stealing cars is up 86% from this time last year.
This year? Yeah. Oh, okay. I wasn't aware.
Yo, she would be fine. If she was in Philly, she would be fine, man.
Yo, niggas would be on, bro. This bitch would have mad niggas in Philly, dog.
Yeah. She looked good for Philly. Her skin is clear. You know what I'm saying? She don't look like she just woke up. It don't matter how pretty she is. It's just her or she got a more of a glow. It's just different, man. These things are like, listen, man, it is what it is. And this is right down the road. What is that, like 90 miles? How far is Baltimore?
Baltimore like an hour and a half from Philly.
Really? Hour and a half? Wow.
Yeah. That shit like right down the street, dog.
So this is a Philly 10 you're telling us.
It's like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 hours.
That's definitely a Philly 10. If she moved to Philly, she wouldn't look like this anymore.
This year? Yeah. Oh, okay. I wasn't aware.
240 cases as of last week.
I didn't even really see the gun at first because it was nighttime too.
Naya is a previous victim of an attempted carjacking.
I ended up like jumping through my window, and me and my boyfriend had to both fight them both off. We ended up getting the gun from them, and they ended up running away.
Even for this former victim, the increase in cases has her at a loss for words.
I don't even know how to react to that. But that's wild. I don't know. It's a lot to take in. I wasn't ready for that news.
And meanwhile, according to the latest BPD data released just today, citywide carjackings are up 120% over a second.
Yo, I mean, that's just ridiculous, man. Carjacking's up 120%. Like, come on, man. What the fuck is going on?
Well, it's kind of like the national debt.
It was already out of control.
Yeah, it's like the national debt. Like the number ceases to like really have a meaning anymore at this point.
Yeah, once you like 1 trillion is like, oh shit, it's 1 trillion. But once it's at 31 trillion, it's like, man, who gives a fuck
Yeah.
anymore?
It don't even matter. Here go the DA. Here go the DA, man. Let's see what the DA.
8:03, the brutal beating and robbery of a 66-year-old man in Butchers Hill sparked outrage through the community as residents there say they feel like they're being hunted. 2 teens were arrested, but one, a 15-year-old, was released to his parents, seemingly to face no consequences. That has now changed. Baltimore City State's Attorney Ivan Bates is joining us with the serious charges that teen is now charged with. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So in the beginning, the 18-year-old was charged. The 15-year-old was released by DJS because they charged him with robbery and, sent him on his way. Talk about what has changed.
Well, one of the things that my office needed to do is we need to look at the case. And unfortunately, looking at the video, reading the reports, we determined that this was more than a robbery. Didn't make us feel good at all. We took our time and really thought about it, and we made sure we had to charge everyone involved in the case that we had with attempt first-degree murder. I wanted to make sure the message is clear that if you're going to stomp on an individual's head, attack them, there's a heinous, vicious crime that could lead to death. We charged last month a gentleman stomped on an older gentleman with murder and killed him. We're seeing that more and more, the viciousness.
Give me an idea on that guy who stomped on the older gentleman.
The stomp is like a characteristic.
Yo, sons love like
overkill,
demoralizing you when they beat your ass, dog.
I think the worst thing you could do is to get stomped. I mean, to get unconscious or to be incapacitated in some way during a fight against a son if there's anybody around.
That's a death sentence.
Because if there's anybody around, he has to show that he has to do extra just to show that person how bad he is. And it will be, you'll be happy if there's nobody around. And in this case with this older guy they were talking about, that the young boys beat up, his daughter was watching, so there was someone watching. Yeah.
A girl watching? Oh, that's the worst, because he's got to go like Omega Ape mode. Like he's got to be like, all right, I'm the Omega Ape to make sure this no, like it's the guy.
I told my brothers that I was like, look, if you want niggas to stop fucking with you completely, dog, get in a fight with a nigga and like after you fuck him up, piss on that nigga and spit on him, dog.
Oh yeah, you got to do something to where you got to make a point, man. Sons, that's just how we are, man. Visual. We're very visual. We're very primal. We're the opposite of abstract. So like just that in your face, whatever thing to being done, it speaks to us. You know what I mean?
Y'all are like kinetic energy. You're like kinetic energy just flowing around, fucking shit up.
And then you gotta see how dirty you can get, dog. How fucking the lack of caring you have for the next man to truly respect you.
Exactly.
Of those types of actions. So everybody involved in that case has been charged as an adult with first-degree attempt murder.
So what is the chain of events after that incident happens? Is it up to your office then to look at each individual case? Do you have to reach out to DJS and say, let me see more about that? I'm not sure that what you've done is enough. Or do they reach out to you?
No, DJS is the sole gatekeeper. The case, the police make the arrest. It goes to DJS. DJS decides what to do, and they may or may not refer the young person for detention. They may or may not put that person on electronic monitoring. From what we can tell right now, it appears that DJS does not view robbery as a violent crime. And we think that's one of the issues that we're seeing more and more. We kind of looked at some numbers.
The youth criminal justice system there doesn't view robbery as a violent crime. Think about how many sons would be in prison if the law was to the letter. If the law was followed to the letter of the law, it would be like, then you wouldn't see sons on the street, man.
Yeah, it'd be difficult. You might see like a few Melungeons, walking around being normal people, but then you'd have like sons like born in prison basically at that point.
Yo, you gotta do all this shit just so niggas won't complain about being overpopulated in prison, and they'll still complain.
That is one of the men accused in the Sergio Pino murder for hire plot, part of a call with a co-conspirator discussing how to cover their tracks from the FBI. And according to prosecutors, one of them, not knowing the FBI, was recording the call. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jackie Nesbro.
And all these dudes is going down for that murder. God, y'all. They got what? 8 sons and a mostly glider hombrito in one foul swoop.
Damn, man, it's like it's just like they're like pawns. Like you can always like get a son man to do malice. They're always like available.
So yeah, we got a Haitian, one Haitian. It seems like Etienne.
What's that creature on the far right? Or both of them on the far right?
This
Beetlejuice. The other nigga,
But that one on the far right, straight from Africa, he's like an African, right?
Yeah, he right off the savannah.
Yeah. And then the other guy next to him, I don't know what that is.
But my pop told me that when he was like super heavy in the streets, bro, he used to say, look, if you can't count on niggas for anything, when it's time to go kill some, when it's time to go like do some violence, he said that's one thing niggas gonna be down for it, dog.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Definitely.
Like all shades. We got all shades of sons here. Like all types and kind. We got from Africa, from Haiti, from America. Like we got everything here.
Yeah. And this is the mastermind. And this is the victim.
Murder for hire plot, part of a call with a co-conspirator discussing how to cover their tracks from the FBI. And according to prosecutors, one of them, not knowing the FBI, was recording the call. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jackie Nesbro.
And I'm Jawan Strader. Good evening to you. The call came as the FBI was closing in on prominent developer Sergio Pino one day before he killed himself as a SWAT team was ready to arrest him in his Coral Gables mansion. Well, tonight, only on 6, NBC6 investigates. Tony Pipito has the tale of the tape. Tony.
Yeah, this call was played in court in August, part of the government's case to keep one of the men you're about to hear behind bars until he could be tried for, what a grand jury alleges, trying to carry out Sergio Pino's orders to murder his wife of 30 years, Tatiana.
It's going to be good. Everything going to be straight.
That was Avery Bivens, a convicted felon, reassuring his alleged co-conspirator, Fausto Villar, a man he met as they both did time in Florida's prisons. Villar was worried.
Everything has to clear. Smoke has to clear. So with what you got, try to fend off.
Too late for that. It was July 15th, and what Villar did not know was Bivens was already working with the FBI to build its case against what would become 9.
Wow.
Plot twist. Damn. Okay.
Wow. Son was snitching, man. He was a cooperative, he was an informant, a cooperating witness.
Would become 9 men, including Bivens, what the FBI says were 2 murder crews tasked with killing Tatiana Pino. Villar, prosecutors argued in playing this call last month, wanted Bivens to cover their electronic tracks.
You shouldn't
can't even get into right now.
That's because the feds already had Bivens' phone, as 2 members of his crew were already in custody. Villar appears worried Bivens could be next.
We need a plan where, let's say, God forbid, they knock on your door one day, or like whatever the case, someone's got to let me know through here, hey, like a code or something, yo.
Unnamed, but prosecutors said referred to in the call was Sergio Pino, who Bivens later told the feds Fausto told him wanted Tatiana dead because she would not accept a $20 million settlement to end their marriage, which had amassed a net worth of more than $153 million.
Wow.
Villar had already paid Bivens $75,000 cash and promised more from their benefactor if things turned out for the best.
Oh yeah, that nigga's stupid.
So at the end of the day, when it's all done, I'm sure that there will be a little gift for me and like for you. So let's just do what we gotta do, G. You know what I'm saying?
All those allegations, according to federal charges, everyone above have pleaded not guilty. Now, immediately after Villar and Bivens ended their recorded call in July, Pino's cell phone received a WhatsApp call and messages from Villar. The complaint states, now, what they discussed, now known only to Villar, as Pino shot himself in the head on the next day after that call, July 16th, as an FBI SWAT team arrived at his house to arrest him. Reporting live in the newsroom, Tony Pipitone, NBC6 News.
I ain't gonna lie, Doug. This
is Dr. Grande.
He fucked up a couple ways. First of all, why the fuck you need like 20 niggas to kill one woman? That's kind of stupid. Second of all, this nigga, you know this nigga ain't spent one day in the hood. You ain't got to pay a son man $750K to do it.
They gonna rob you. As soon as you say that, they might rob you.
You should have been like, look, I got like 2,000 for you, and I'll hook you up with like a P or something like that.
Yeah, no.
Some men would have been right, bro. These some men out here, and I don't know about anywhere else, but nigga. Shit out here getting whacked for the low out here, though.
Yeah, definitely, man. Without a doubt.
We're learning new details tonight about a disturbing kidnapping case in Greece.
A man, his brother, and father are accused of taking a 13-year-old boy against his will. 13 WAM Stephen Pappas has more on the investigation and
Rochester. I was just up here. Greece, I passed through Greece. Greece is a town in upstate New York.
From the community. Stephen, good evening.
Matt and Karen, good evening. This story is shocking to some who live in the apartment complex where investigators say the young teen was kidnapped, telling me that they've always considered this a safe neighborhood.
What the hell is that on the right?
Unease from people living in the Glenora Gardens apartment complex in Greece.
This is not a neighborhood that you would see that. This is very quiet. Very kids are playing out in the street. You know, not much goes on.
3 men are now facing charges accused of kidnapping a 13-year-old boy.
Bro. Yo, I would never want, if I'm like getting out my car at 3 o'clock in the morning, that's like one of the last faces I want to see when I'm locking my door.
Yeah.
Bro.
Nostrils.
Yeah, that. Yeah, if you don't want your daughter to date this, you're fucking racist.
Yo, you trying to tell me?
Damn, man.
You trying to tell me he's reproducing?
More than
even
anyone. He's got like 9 kids, probably.
You trying to tell me he reproducing even kids with average intelligence? Come on, bro.
Yo, see, this is the thing. Like this lineup right here. What the fuck were gliders thinking? Like when they brought these guys over, like in the boats. Like in my mind, when I see this lineup in my glider mind, I'm like, yo, like. These features are so different compared to mine. Like that's a sign. Mother Nature's trying to tell you, like, yo, bro, you're not supposed to be in the same spot. Maybe like you got to think about this. Like,
yeah,
you know,
that was,
bruh.
Yeah, that was gliders. I still understand how gliders didn't have like the plan. Like these niggas gonna be here. We gonna work these niggas for like 100 years. Get them right the fuck out of here, dog. Like. That's like written in stone somewhere, dog. That's It was supposed to be like a act somewhere in the federal law, like get these niggas the fuck out of here as soon as we finish
Well,
using them.
they did try to send them back, man. They did. They
But
created
it wasn't like a whole. They did it. They figured it out. Like they fought a war over this shit. Like it wasn't like a plan to get these niggas out of here. Like
I mean, emancipation was a real thing. Like they did want to free them, but they wanted them gone. That's what the foreword in Negroes from Negroland is about. That's what he wrote that book for, because he wanted to. Hey, we're different. Like these are not the same people.
This is the type of thing though that like you need to like nip it in the bud. Like you need to like you go to the store with your receipt. You can't go like 50 years later. You got to have that receipt in hand like a year or two, and then they'll take your shit. Like so.
You trying to tell me if gliders really wanted niggas out of here, the same glider man that came here from a whole nother fucking continent came, settled the land, and built the greatest country in human history, they couldn't get niggas out of here if they really wanted to?
Oh yeah, I 1000% believe they could. But here's the thing though, like it would take like a shift in like the consciousness. Like there's no appetite for that. The appetite the country is really trying to like pander and placate and cajole sons now. There's no way that would happen in real life. But let's see what this guy.
Oh, Mark in the back though, I think.
Okay.
On the street, not much goes on.
3 men are now facing charges, accused of kidnapping a 13-year-old boy. Police were called to the complex for a menacing report last Saturday afternoon and found 5 boys and 3 men. Court paperwork states at least one of the boys was in a common area of an apartment building when he was confronted by 25-year-old Jaquan Martin. That's when police say Martin threatened the teen with a loaded rifle and forcibly detained him in an apartment for about 45 minutes. Investigators say the teen was forced to undress, his phone was taken away and smashed, and scissors were used to cut off his hair. Greece police say Martin then contacted his brother, 22-year-old Myquan Williams, and father, 53-year-old Lennis Williams. All 3 are then accused of handcuffing the 13-year-old.
So I see the nose, the nostrils. Yeah.
So you got. Yeah, he probably the baby mom probably some red.
There's a motherfucker.
Yeah. So you got Jaquan and Mike Quan, and then you got Haram Quan.
So these 2 brothers, we'll call them, may even be as much white as they are black. Like think about that for a moment. That's how strong.
The baby mom. They probably got 2. They probably have brothers, and the baby moms probably definitely both caramel or lighter.
Yeah, like these he probably these guys probably like 85% sun, man. Look at their hair. Like when you like half sun or less, your hair is
the texture is way straighter.
The skin is kind of like less of a tell than the hair.
Yeah, skin is more 50-50. You're right.
Yeah. The hair is more of a where you see the sun trait.
His brother, 22-year-old.
Salute to Smokey Treats. He says, salute Ak panel and nation. Appreciate your channel, Ak. Yeah, man. Salute to you, man. I appreciate you too, man. Smokey Treats says, on another subject, the Breonna Taylor case has been reopened.
Oh no! Bruh.
The
October surprise.
I gotta look in that. 2 former LMPD officers involved in Breonna Taylor raid indicted yet again. We have to look into that next, man. Because I did the classic series on that, man. It's wow.
Yep. Myquan Williams and father, 53-year-old Lennis Williams. All 3 are then accused of handcuffing the 13-year-old, bringing him outside and forcing him into the backseat of a vehicle. Court paperwork claims Myquan and Lennis Williams sat next to the teen to prevent him from escaping. causing him to be in extreme fear for his life. When police arrived, they say that they found all 3 suspects with the teen who is naked and handcuffed and made the arrests. The teen, we're told, has no physical injuries. Eckert says he now fears for his safety.
Look at me. I'm not a big man. I'm a very small, petite guy. Like, what happens if somebody wants to try to come in and
you see how
take me
this
away
nigga
or
walk?
like rob me or something?
Martin faces kidnapping.
This is what, but here's the thing: like, if he was just a cog in a white army, right? Like he was just holding a rifle and told to shoot whoever came over the hill. Like,
he'd be an asset.
Yeah, all of them weren't George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Some of them were this guy, but his life.
They can follow directions.
Exactly, follow directions, and they can have valor and discipline.
Rob me or something.
Martin faces kidnapping, robbery, and weapons charges. His brother and father are also both charged with kidnapping. Eckert hopes others living in the complex stay alert.
Just be careful, lock your doors, and stay vigilant, I guess. There's always somebody around the corner that's looking to do harm in this day and age.
All 3 suspects were arraigned and held on $2,500 cash bail, $5,000 insurance bond, and $7,500 partially secured bond. Matt?
That's it. Wow.
A takedown by good.
Oh, shit. Yo, he looked like Joe Burrow.
I think I did this years ago. Did I do this years ago? Yeah, okay, yeah, this is 3 years ago. I know I did that one. I knew I did that story. What were we doing? You said Breonna Taylor. Let's do this one first.
Yeah, this is kind of a bizarre situation, according to police. They say that this happened after a football game. Everything went smoothly until the end of it. That's when they say a fight broke out. They broke up that fight, and then they would reconvene and fight again. This happened ongoing for 4 different instances, and in that, 2 officers were allegedly assaulted by these high school students. Things got so bad that they had to call in neighboring police agencies to help rein in the chaos, all on a Friday night.
I wonder what color they are.
This is just a fraction of what Westland police say they were dealing with following the homecoming football game at John Glenn High School.
The crowd wasn't listening. They were simply finding a new location to go and fight.
This footage was provided by Westland Police. Dozens of high school students, 9th through 12th grade, from John Glenn and Wayne Memorial High School. Camera phones out, seemingly undeterred as officers attempt to break up fight after fight.
It was clear that this wasn't something serious to them. This was something that they were enjoying doing.
6 officers were assigned to the game, but when the fights broke out, the deputy chief says that was.
Think about your white neighborhood, and you show up in this 6 officers. You show up to, you know what I'm saying, to a football game in the white area, and there's 6 cops there. You're immediately like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, you think, is the president coming? Is Biden coming to the game? But in the black community, that's not enough cops at the game.
Yeah, I don't know about. I never went to a gliders. I went to all naked schools, but yo, this is so normal. It's like it's not even. It's nothing.
Yeah, this scene played out. Yeah, this is what it is.
This is a calm little fight.
Mutual aid from numerous neighboring jurisdictions to come get things back under control.
In their attempt to regain control, things got worse.
When the officers attempted to place people under arrest, that's when these officers got assaulted.
12 minors arrested in total. The only reported injuries were to law enforcement.
We had at least 1 officer that was punched multiple times. We can see that on tape. And then another officer that ultimately ended up sustaining concussion injury.
The Wayne Westland School superintendent also taking the situation very seriously.
They are currently not attending school as the investigation continues.
Working with police, Jen Curry says there will be
And
changes.
this woman is in charge of all those feral fucking sets.
Yeah, that's a mismatch.
Wow. She just wants to help them.
And continues.
Working with police, Jen Curry says there will be changes to the remaining games at John Glenn and Wayne Memorial. Limits in attendance. Each athlete, cheerleader, and band member can only invite 5 guests.
We're putting.
So it's the band members' fault now. Is that what it is?
They ruined everything, man. For real.
Yeah.
Yo, you gotta blame. You gotta blame. Yo, we gonna see a nigga blame like the shirt. They'll be like, yo, the shorts are too small. That's why they're out here fighting and some shit.
Their name on a list, and we're just going to check it as they're coming in.
All this in an effort to ensure the majority of people coming out to the games can stay safe.
These incidents have been happening throughout the region.
Westland police say in the course of trying to break up these fights that one of the body-worn cameras on an officer was actually stolen. They thankfully were able to recover that, and they plan to prosecute the person said to be responsible accordingly. Reporting live in Westland tonight, Dave Spencer, Fox 2 News.
Dave, in terms of
Is that a tub?
Yeah, I think so. Racism in the WNBA. Oh.
That's old. That's stuff that Arca's been covering way ahead of everybody.
Even they smack me on my nerves, though. Oh Lord, the mysterious islands. Oh shit.
Marcelino is an elder, an Omi Grande, the highest position in the social hierarchy. The forest, which he knows so well, is where he finds the plants for his ancestral remedies. Marcelino is a traditional doctor on the island of Karache in the northern Bijagos. The island of Orango in the far south is a World Biosphere Reserve and the country's first national park. This is where Pedro lives. He's the reporter of Okinka Pampa, Orango's small radio station, so he's always on the lookout for stories. On the island of Caravella, Quintino is about to undergo the most important phase of his life, the Fanado, the highest initiation rite, which will open a mysterious secret world to him. Over the centuries, the Bijago have forged a very close relationship with nature.
I don't know what's going to happen to me, if I'll be equal to the challenge and able to do what they want me to. That's why I'm anxious.
The Bijagos Islands are off in a backwater of time, isolated from the rest of the world. Just a few miles from the mainland, they form a labyrinth of sandbanks and mangrove swamps, and they have the strongest tides in Africa. These islands are inhabited by spirits. They form a mythical boundary between the land of Africa, the ocean, and the endless sky. Islands tossed into the sea and forgotten in the vast Atlantic Ocean. There are 88 of them spread out over roughly 100 kilometers north to south. It is the only archipelago of Africa born from a river delta, formed thousands of years ago following a rise in the level of the seas. The early Portuguese navigators brought back tales of wild islands inhabited by indomitable warriors. The Bijagos people never submitted to the colonial authority. The villages are all inland, away from the sea, as if the inhabitants needed to protect themselves from unknown outside forces. And for centuries, this isolation has allowed these islands to remain unspoiled. Hello there. How's the family? How are you? Marcelino is a traditional healer in Mpincha, a village on the island of Karache. He learned the traditional medicine from his father and began to treat people in the northern islands with him. A few years ago, Marcelino received training in the fundamentals of modern Western medicine from foreign doctors. So how's the baby?
Bebê, bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite. Come on.
Little Sun Man Jr.
Oh man, Junior.
You on mute.
They ain't got no barbers out there.
Yeah, we got to tell like Mystic, like this is where you came from. Not that, like he's holding little baby Mystic right here. Like, let's stop the nonsense.
Nah, we millennials, man.
Like,
Yeah,
none of
we
that.
was-
Like, he was the fucking like the natives and shit. No, there's none of that shit.
Nah, but I
Yo.
kind of sometimes I kind of understand what Mystic be saying though. Like, it makes sense.
Oh man. Oh, yo, what the? Yo, I ain't gonna lie. When we did that stream, I seen a lot of people in the chat like, nah, man. Like that shit really makes sense. I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah, there's like
where
a
the-
lot of stunts in the chat, right?
Yeah, how's this making sense to you?
No. I'm not saying it. You got to remember, there is some sons. For whatever reason, there is some sons that used to own slaves. There used to be some sons. It was part of it. Like
No, they
it
still
was
do,
weird.
man.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. There's some stuff he's saying does make sense because somewhere down the line, it Days was all right. Prime example, the Jack Daniel thing. Yeah, the Jack Daniel, the guy made his whiskey and stuff, but he was the only glider. He was the only son that was there with the glider, and they didn't see him too much as a son. But then again, those guys was Irish, so it's certain things like that.
Yo, but
No.
this is the origin point. This is the
Listen.
origin point right here.
Listen.
Jack
Think
Daniel?
about it.
Fuck did that come
Right.
No, because the guy
man.
he did create it. He did create it. It was a brother that taught
What do
Jack
they?
Daniel how to do.
Yeah, let's say that's true. How is that like? What does that
He-
mean?
He's basically saying somewhere down the line we got off track.
Off
That's
track
what
with
he's
what?
basically meaning that at
Him,
one
Jack
point
Daniel?
everybody that everybody was like everybody had their way. Like they were cool. Like it wasn't that hostile as it was. That's what he means.
What the?
What?
I'm just
But
forget
was
it.
this? See,
I'll
see
wave
this
the
tree right here?
white flag. I'm trying to
Was this
defend
the
him,
origin
but
point?
I understand.
Wait, are you
Was this the
saying
origin
Jack
point of
Daniels
sons
is
or
white?
not? Though, like, is this where
No.
sons were?
I'm just using that as an example. No.
My
Like,
fault for
this
cutting you
is
off, new
the
guy.
origin right here. There's no native sons. That's not a thing. This is where it started.
Yeah, these are the original Sun people.
Yeah, this is a time capsule.
I'm
All
cool.
this,
I
like-
know I'm original. I know I'm an original son. Like I said, our lineage is Igbo, so I already know. So I'm not.
So
but
are
I
you?
kind of.
You say you what?
I'm Igbo. Like our Haitians are Igbo, so we come from basically our people sold us because whatever it is, what it is.
Correct.
We're closer to Nigerians and stuff.
The Yorubas, Igbo, all of them were selling slaves. They were all enslaved.
Exactly. So I know what I am, so I don't care.
So, but are you saying that there are some people that don't originate from Africa that were here already?
I'm just saying what Mystic is saying. I, I think we're originally from Africa, but there were some dark
Yeah.
skinned
Yeah, but that don't mean you black
natives.
though.
Why
No,
do
no, I
y'all?
agree. I agree. No, no, that's all I said. I agree with that. I didn't say they were black. That's all I said.
That's what I. Do you see like when y'all say, "Yo, all right, black people came from Africa, but there were dark people here." Like you see how it sounds like it feels like y'all
I
trying to
understand. I understand.
smuggle some people into America
I understand
somehow.
where you're coming from. I know. I understand where you're coming from.
Like when any
Yo,
person uses the word black, that's a substitute for indigenous African. Like,
yeah,
so that's what black means.
yeah, exactly. Black don't mean fucking Indian or black
No.
mean this type of hair. Like look at
Yeah.
these people society. I believe like even if you look at the movie Roots was like this is the state of the black man before the contact with the white man. This is the state they were in. There's no way they could have accomplished anything in this state. Look at everything in this village is made. There's nothing plastic. There's nothing
All biodegradable.
wood. Yeah, everything exactly. Everything's biodegradable. Everything came from the earth. They didn't take anything and reform it. What is that called when you like take like let's just say you take like something and you take a mineral out of it and you make it to something else. I don't know what it's called, but they didn't transform anything. They didn't transform any of these things. All these things are what they are. This straw was straw. It might have been grass and they dried it. This wood was a tree and they cut it down and they fucking, and they didn't transform any of these things.
And they
A
didn't
few
measure
years
it
ago,
either.
Marcelino received training in the fundamentals of modern Western medicine from foreign doctors. So how's the baby?
We're gonna do Breonna Taylor tomorrow, man, because I don't want to even get started on that to sleep.
Yo.
Yikes.
Thanks to the children, I became
That
a
nigga
healer.
like, what the fuck?
I've liked children ever since I was young.
Oh my god.
It's still the case.
Yo.
What I do,
You
I do for them.
Yo, and that's like we gotta keep it a buck, dog.
Oh, Mystic's here.
Mystic. My God. Yo, we gotta keep it a buck, dog. Them Sunmen, bro. They ain't had
Say it
that.
one more time.
Oh, shit. All right, go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna say it one more time. When you use the term black, black was not used in those times to describe a people.
Yeah, but we
That's a
use
new
it now.
concept.
We're retroactively using it. Like you know what we mean.
No,
it's like none of this
when you're
stuff
using,
is used.
when you're speaking proper terms and in proper person, no, I don't understand what you mean.
Like okay, like
you don't know what black means?
The Romans. You think the Romans called themselves the Romans? You think
Who's black?
Jesus
Black is
called
not a
himself
person.
Jesus?
We're not adjectives. What is an adjective? It's a description, right?
Yeah, describing people.
Right, but you can't describe a people by color.
Why
It
not?
makes no sense.
You can
That's a
describe people by anything.
That's a misnomer.
Why can't you describe someone by color? What?
And
Hold
that's why people are in the state that they're in today, because
he
they
bogging us
describe
down
themselves by color.
Yeah, yeah. My fault, Mystic. My fault.
Mystic,
Okay,
Mystic. What do you think about this shit that's on the screen right there? The state of the Negro in his natural, unadulterated, unmolested state.
Right, in that part of the world, exactly.
So you saying there's other parts of the world back in the day that Negroes weren't
No, not Negroes, because we can't call them Negroes. They didn't. I'm more than sure they didn't describe themselves as Negroes.
Oh, come on, bro. What?
And yeah, and I'm gonna keep on coming. People. Listen. People people describe themselves by the land they were attached to.
How do you know that? How do you know what everybody did? How do you know what everybody did?
Black was not used to describe people in ancient times.
How do you know what is ancient times? You're speaking about a vast, complex, nuanced thing, man. There's no ancient
that's
time.
that's not a nuanced thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Calling a person black is a new thing.
Yeah, but Mystic,
calling a person white
black
is a new thing.
Calling someone black is just like a synonym for calling someone an indigenous sub-Saharan African. Just like calling a white person means an indigenous European person.
No.
What black
you can't even really call a European a European because how many countries are in Europe?
Oh my God.
People are entitled to say that again.
Let me move along. I don't want to. I want to see.
We'll pick a day and have this discussion because I can't talk long. Because remember, I'm not in the States.
Always great to hear you.
We will have a conversation.
Okay, thank you.
We'll set up a day
because they know that I'll be telling their parents about it. The child is not just his parents' child. He's also the child of the entire community. That's why we treat them all the same. We take care of all the children. When I see a newborn baby, it just fills my heart with joy.
Marcelino, who's close to 60 years old, is an elder of his village, an Omi Grande. The younger generations have to submit to the decisions and demands of their elders. This is the principle of payment to the elders, who are the ones who guide the children's upbringing.
So he's the pimp of the neighborhood.
Yeah, like when an elder says anything, you do it over there. Like there's no questions asked.
There are not many schools here, and very few clinics. More often than not, Marcelino has to turn to Mother Nature to treat his patients, to save lives. The Bijago elders are all the living memory and guardians of the community's secrets. In order to keep the traditions alive, Marcelino passes on his knowledge to the younger generation.
That nigga feet can probably cut through rocks.
The palm tree plays an important role here in the Bijagos. We use the trunk to build our houses. We make palm wine with the sap. When the nuts ripen, we can make oil. We use the fronds to make string. These are the palm fronds we use to make brooms. And the ropes we use to climb the palm trees. We also make soap from the blossom. Every part of the tree is good. We can use everything in the palm tree. Plant lore and traditional medicine are great secrets. The forest is like a pharmaceutical factory. If you're not a doctor, you're not allowed to learn the secret formulas.
Secret formulas.
We don't transmit the mysteries of the plants to outsiders. If you don't live here on this land, we'll never show you anything.
the white man showed you all his stuff, but them.
Before cutting a root, I asked the tree's forgiveness. I ask it to help me cure the sick person. You can't just come into the forest, take what you need, then turn around and leave.
What the hell is this?
Marcelino has to take care of a child on a nearby island. Before undertaking a voyage, he has to invoke the spirit so that he'll ensure a smooth journey and watch over his family during his absence.
Oh shit.
So they crossed the Atlantic on this boat, on these boats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I ain't gonna lie, Mystic Theory starting to make more sense now.
Yeah.
Now that I see this boat.
Yeah, they crossed the Atlantic on this boat, man. Wow.
Ya kau semua guna sini. Asin tim jo. Ina kau do na amana. Busin tim ustai jo. Kau sebenarnya yang nama kau. Yung menino
He got hurt playing. They brought him to me 4 days ago. So I took care of him, and now I'm seeing him again. He tells me he's feeling better. This is what I use to treat him. It looks like he's doing better. I treat stomach aches, indigestion, cuts, bruises, headaches, and snake bites. I take care of all of that. Yes, even
Nigga
snake
wrapped the
bites.
tree branch on his leg.
No way those people crossed the Atlantic. No way they crossed the Atlantic, man, without it.
Yo,
ahead, man.
if you told somebody pro-black to live there for 2 weeks, can they do it?
No, a pro-black wouldn't want to live there. A pro-black would get there and because we're not seeing everything, right? We're not seeing where they poop at. We're not seeing, you know what I'm saying? We're not seeing everything. We're just seeing like the made for TV stuff. No, pro-black would be like, yo, get me the fuck up out, especially a sister. Sister would never want to be over there.
Yeah, we ain't see we didn't get to the part where they start eating other people. We ain't
Yeah,
get to none of that.
Lack of consent. It's just like no
yeah,
consent at all.
We
Really.
didn't see any of the female genital mutilation.
Yeah.
right. Things you take for granted over here. You know what I'm saying? Just freedoms that you take for granted. Um, over there, it's just like those people don't even know that those things exist. Like they don't even know about inalienable rights. Every man has inalienable rights.
Yeah.
Every man is the right to remain silent, the right to this, the right to that. They don't know. They don't know about that because the village elders tell them what it is, and that's whatever the village elders say.
Nature jealously guards her secrets.
He's talking to a tree. The guy's talking to a tree. And we're supposed to listen. We're supposed to sit here and believe that, like, yo, maybe he has some ability to talk to that tree. But no, he doesn't. He's just talking to a tree.
Yeah. He's just a madman.
It's the same tree that if you went up there and tried to talk to it, that tree's no different than if you walked up and said something to it.
Is this like the tree guy? Mary, they call it Mary Jane. Let me stop.
There are a number of sacred sites on the islands. They are the realm of Iran, the spirit of the islands. Tradition is the bond that ensures the social cohesions of the Bijabos people, and only
imagine after it rains, right? And there's puddles everywhere. Imagine the mosquitoes.
Ooh.
Just look at that thick bush everywhere.
Yeah,
Imagine
they can't.
the mosquitoes.
And those
Yeah, they couldn't do it.
Yeah, and those them goddamn West African mosquitoes. They like American mosquitoes, but like Barry Bonds steroids.
Yeah.
only they hold the key to it.
No electricity.
And they clearly have some stuff too from gliders because I'm seeing like plastic pails and shit here too.
Yeah.
I think they built that boat for them too, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
This land beneath its vast sky is a sanctuary of unspoiled nature. Marcelino is
man.
The paddles too. I think they made those nice symmetrical looking paddles for these suns too, and they're like, all right,
yeah.
Pretend.
Yeah, there's no buoys, there's no dunes, there's nothing out there, man. They just if nature didn't create it, they don't. These people would live like this for another billion years without making any advancements. And and look at them. They've remained. Look at all the advancements that have been made in the world, but these people have been able to remain like this through all the advancements in the world.
Yeah, they didn't get a drop of that innovation.
They weren't. I don't think they were colonized. They must have just because these are little islands out there on Africa.
Yeah,
they must have just left them alone. White man just like fuck them, man. They had them alone.
That tends to be the theme. The less colonized, the more of a shithole, basically.
Yeah, they tried to say they didn't allow the colonizers to colonize them, but that basically just means they was like, we don't give a fuck, and just dipped off.
This is Sentinel Island again. This is just those same niggas on Sentinel Island that killed that white man who came over there and tried to the white man who came to Sentinel Island and they shot him with the bows and arrows. This is one step above Sentinel Island. These people are living in the Stone Age. They're living like They're literally living in the Stone Age. They
These
don't have anything other than stone.
these
Yeah, you gotta give birth to like birth the natural way with these sun men around you. Like that can't be fun.
Oh yeah. You have a baby, they're gonna give you a stick to put between your teeth. That's all you getting.
yeah, these the same places. If you argue with some niggas, they'll be like, man, I'll choose here over America. You know, they just living off the land and just
Nah, act right. They couldn't do 2 weeks.
They could do 2 hours. They
2 hours.
they could do 2 hours. Once you told them the gliders made the boat for them, they'd be like, all right, fuck it.
And all these people's feet are flat. You know what I'm saying? These people are not like they're different than you. They don't biologically, like they've never like had a Tylenol or aspirin. They've never used a Band-Aid. These people are way tougher than you. So you think you could do it, but you can't. You know, so
those kids like beating the shit out of that whatever the fuck they were doing. Like you can't do that. Like they're just like their bones are like more dense. Like they have the musculature, the structure. Like they're different. They're like more like they're like closer to a prehistoric human, basically.
the missing link.
Yeah, and these are like people that like will beat you like for instance like they don't show that in this, but like if you fuck up, they will beat you. Like the elders will say, okay, he has done this, okay, he will get a beating, and they will beat you. Like over there, a beating is not what it is over here. Over here, a whooping is pop, 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 and then it's like, you know, call the police and shit, CPS or some shit. Over there, they talking about until you like have your soul is gone. They beat the soul out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of things that can't be shown in this. Like you said earlier, like there's a lot of things, customs and rituals and shit that can't be shown in this. This is only the brief overview for a documentary to make it palatable for Americans to be like, oh, okay, wow, interesting.
They're just like us.
And they probably kill gay people just for being gay. So
oh right, yeah, good point. And
No, he right. He right though. He right.
Yeah.
So
let albinos leave them. Yeah, or some of them kill twins. If there's twins, they'll kill one of the twins.
No.
No,
Yeah.
because they think one is possessed or a demon or something like that.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Just that 50
Yeah.
IQ behavior.
God damn. Yo, I see why some people want to make a distinction from these people, because it's like, yo,
Yeah, I would too.
how could we come from people that are this backwards? Like, but
They just are. They just are. Like it's we take areas of America and we pull them closer to this. Everywhere and we're slowly and sometimes even faster bringing it closer to this. We're taking New York City. You could take a neighborhood in New York City. You could put Suns in Times Square and just say Times Square is the Sun area. Everybody else get out. Let the Suns live here and let them, you know, govern over themselves. Times Square, you come back in 30 years and Times Square would be
They'll be destroyed.
It would be closer to this than it would be to what a previous was.
Yeah. Well, we don't need time. We got Haiti. We don't need Times Square. We already know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about like they could destroy. This is our default setting. This is where we want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's true. It's not like a conscious effort. It's just like
right, exactly.
It's just
natural. It's natural. It's not a conscious effort. Not at all.
And you have to tell these some people that these are like the low, because they'll say, "Yo, you just highlighting these ashy foot, spirit chuck and booty scratchers," and they'll be like, "But why don't you highlight the advanced sun people in Africa?"
There aren't any.
Like,
there's also like no concept of like, okay, because if some gliders come in and they colonize this fucking island and make some, nice shit, make a hospital and shit and schools, and then they all leave. Like the Suns just don't have like the same presence of upkeep. There's just no upkeep. Like and I don't even like they just don't care enough about it. And like there's nothing really wrong with that because they're just different.
But think about this. Think about this, right? This guy right here. If you had like something like let's just say a bag of little Snicker bars, right? And you gave him one, and he's like, he never had a Snicker bar, and it tasted good, and he became addicted to it because it's addictive. Like, you know what I'm saying? He said, "Yo, I need some more. I need another bag." You know what I'm saying? Those Snickers bars, and you told him, "Hey, man, okay, I need slaves, man. We need slaves, and we'll give you all the Snicker bars you want if you need slaves." You think this guy wouldn't go raid the neighboring tribes to give you slaves to get a fucking bag of Snicker bar? He's never had one. A Snicker bar is a huge deal. He's never had one. They don't have a corner store. They don't have a fucking Costco's. They don't have anything with a wrapper on it. The wrapper, they wouldn't throw the wrapper away. The kids would play with the wrappers like it was toys.
Yeah, no, it's like the Native Americans. They'll give you their land for like some fucking tobacco or some bullshit. Like there's just they just don't understand.
Yeah, they don't know how to make these very simple things. Like you might say something like a microchip, right? A microchip is a huge deal, right? You don't need a microchip to impress them. You could impress them with a Tonka toy. They'd have never a Matchbox car. They don't have anything made of plastic or rubber.
And like, no doubt, when you give this man a fucking Snicker bar, he's gonna be like make a conspiracy about it. He's gonna think it's magic that like you just created out of thin air. Like he's not gonna even have an understanding about what went into.
They don't have sugar. They don't even have sugar. They don't have sugar. They don't have. They barely got salt. They might even not even have salt, but they don't have sugar. They don't have chocolate. They don't have They don't know where it comes from. They don't know what makes it. That Snicker bar, yeah, he would have to think that it was some kind of magic that made it.
They don't have sugar, but they do have other people that they eat.
Yeah.
Crazy. There's one little pushback. Haiti was nice at a certain time period when the dictator was there. Unfortunately, that's the problem. The dictator fucked it up. So it had a period of time it was nice.
But hold on, that was they didn't go to Haiti on their own accord and set up this wonderful dictator you're talking about and then make it good for 20 years. No, like they started with European influence. They kicked the gliders out, and then like during this fall going downhill, maybe they like stagnated and like kept it just above savagery for 20 years. But
it was nice, bro. I went there. It was nice.
Okay.
So I know.
Even what you're saying is nice. You're probably talking about certain areas and everything being
Yeah, I agree with you. Like certain areas, certain cities look real nice, then certain cities look like shit. They were in the Stone Age. Yeah, I agree with that.
And behind that looking nice is probably some invisible glider one that you're not accounting for. You know what I'm saying? You're probably just thinking that it was the dictator, but it may have been like some aid, billions of dollars of aid from some European country or something like that. So, yeah, you probably don't know. Yeah.
Even through the revolution, there was a abolitionist that started it to get Toussaint to do it. So it was glider aid too.
Yeah, exactly. Salute to everybody out there, man. Great show, man. Try to get to this Brianna thing tomorrow, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.
Peace.